What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ikwanastahab stream. My name is Ken 3 times, and I am your host of the Ikwanastahab stream. What is up, guys? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Hi, welcome. Today, every corn the long way, only on weekends. But RJ, that reminds me of maybe some guy I knew on Instagram named Underrated RJ. I wonder if that's the same RJ. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Today we're gonna be reading. I'll answer all y'all's questions very soon. But today in the stream we're gonna be reading an introduction to the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak, and some background story with this with this uh, uh, with this information here. 16 viewers. Wow. So this is what the cover looks like. I think the cover looks very interesting. I think the cover looks very promising. I've already read like through the first two keys. Hello, welcome to the stream. I've already read through the first two keys already. Through like understanding like what it's about and through understanding like, hi, welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Ken. From the Ikwanastahab, and I'm so proud to have you guys. My phone number. I'm not doxing myself. I'm not doxing myself at all. Yeah. This is gonna be like the MO of the stream. We're gonna be reading this together, and we're also gonna be. I'm also gonna be showing you guys some of what I have in my notebook too. I wonder if you guys like some of the stuff in my notebook. Look, it's heavily encrypted, heavily inscribed like mystery stuff in it that I think you guys might like. Yeah, here, ask a question. Ask your question away. I'm more than glad to answer it. You know, this is a place of learning. This is a place of love, and this is a place of light and responsibility and information. So, ask away. It can be spiritually related. It cannot be spiritually related. It could be any question really, but yeah. Just keep it PG. Keep it PG. Keep it PG. What's your question? But anyways, as you're getting ready for that question, I might as well get started with the beginning of the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak. But the 5 viewers already, I think, is like very promising, guys. I've never actually peaked like 19 viewers before, so um, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Now, mind you, guys, there is visuals in the books. I want you guys to see some of the visuals. Actually, look, the visuals on this book are beautiful. I love the visuals in this book. This is the Hebrew letter Aleph, and it's a very, very like visually aesthetically pleasing book, I think. But yeah, we're gonna read the prologue to this. Beloved, the Father's limitless light, the Father's limitless light is being poured forth, and our tree of life is being activated. What is the book? This is the Keys of Enoch. If you guys read the like the what's it called? If you guys read the title of the stream, we're reading the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak, and yeah, I can't wait to get started because like this is like a really fun and I'm gonna be showing the visuals too. But yeah. The Father's limitless light is being poured forth, and our tree of life is being activated. Love from the highest levels is penetrating the planetary veils. From the higher worlds without limit or end, the emissaries of light come in vast numbers to advance the foundations of life and refashion new worlds. Yes, shout out to GBVDFGGGGD. Shout out to, I butcher your name like crazy. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. They bring with them light which is greater than 1,000 suns to awaken our next stage of evolution and to assist in bringing us into a pure form of superluminal light. We have been living with the sun universe of his creation, and we have experienced our realm with the living word. Now we must open to the recognition that we are to transform this space-time vessel into the greater universe of the spirit of his love. Graduation is upon us, and with it comes a new sense of oneness to the myriad world of our Father's house of many mansions. Through this new synthesis, space and time are conquered, and we are ordained to put the similitude that goes with the divine image. Truly, before we physically can advance, we must consciously advance through thought forms which are as firing torches of creativity, connecting the two dwelling temples of spirit within our brain, with living flame geometries, of color and sound within the keys. Open the mind locks of consciousness for the divine mind to be seated directly within our innermost mind, so we can begin to think in divine pictures which trace and compose many scenarios of creation. Through this nonlinear cosmic language, our consciousness is expanded to communicate on different levels of reality, activating within our mind and our being a higher perceptual level of communication. This is the opening of the higher divine mind, which works as a continuous revelatory process through a universal media which transcends the written and spoken word, and works with the living word, which emanates as a plural dimension hologram of the many worlds. So, I'm going to stop right there and give you guys some reflection. Okay? So what is this really talking about? And the Tao Te Ching, like, you guys might be thinking, like, oh, like, why is he bringing up a Tao Te Ching? This is Western occultism, and Tao Te Ching is Eastern occultism, right? But remember that the two traditions, Eastern and Western, have meeting points, right? And in the Tao Te Ching, they talk about this in the first lines of the Tao Te Ching. The first lines of the Tao Te Ching, they talk about how the way that can be put into words is not the eternal way, and the name for the nameless one is not the eternal name. So, in the stanza of the Tao Te Ching, we see that the things simply as the path towards God and the name of God are to be experienced rather than spoken, because the spoken word has its limitations. The spoken word has its implications. The spoken word has its constraints, and I was gonna add another Asian, but predation. Yeah, the spoken word does have its own predation. Yeah, because I truly believe that when we as humans, before we created the spoken word, we would create it. Like, I'm of the belief that we made the spoken word to remember things, not to communicate. We made the spoken and written word to remember things. Really, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to connect through energy, through intuition, through the mind, right? This is how we're supposed to communicate with each other. But and when you go higher up in the realms, the less, like, the more like words become to like fizzle out, and words start to like culminate and like mix and like blur a little bit, because when I was traveling up the higher realms, I couldn't hear anything. Like, words started becoming like kind of like compact in a way, and where like one word could describe a million words, and a million words could be in, like I said, in like vice versa, like kind of I'll say what I'm saying in reverse. A million words can be in one word. One word can be in a million words. A million words can be in one word. Like, you can reach a form of like mantric yoga where you can, like, if you're focusing on a specific mantra, like here, this is what I'm wearing this for, the mala beads. I do mantric meditation with this, guys, and I've been working with certain mantras recently, and the purpose of like finding like powers and finding like how do I say, it's like a form of theosis. Theosis being like communion, or like having a share and a connection with something. The way you can like reach a sort of communion with a mantra or with a saying is by having the mantra express all different spectrums of emotions, feelings, actions, being, and existence. This is even commonly said by Islamic preachers, and they don't really have the knowledge to understand that this is actually a very powerful mantric meditation you're giving. So Islamic preachers say that when you're having a good day, say Alhamdulillah, and when you're having a bad day, say Alhamdulillah. Not realizing that by encapsulating the polarity within the word, you're having the word have a transcendent basis and have a transcendent like power to it. Basically, when you use positivity. No, it's okay, man. No, it's okay. It's okay. Hey. What's it called? Inna lillahi wa inna lillahi rajiun. Okay? And you know what that means? That means indeed we belong to Allah, and indeed to Him we return. No, it's okay, man. It's okay. Everything's fine. We're just talking about what's it called? We're talking about the power of mantras right now, and the contrast behind like the spoken word being powerful and the unspoken word being powerful. But I understand, bro. Don't worry. Like, it's all good. We're going transition. But yeah, I think I yapped on enough about this. We're only at the prologue, guys, and I kind of want to end the stream until I finish the book. So yeah, uh, yeah. Through this nonlinear cosmic language, our consciousness is expanded to communicate on different levels of reality, activating within our mind and our being a higher perceptual level of communication. This is the opening to the higher divine mind, which works as a continuous revelatory process through a universal media which transcends the written and spoken word and works with the living word, which emanates as a plural dimensional hologram of the many worlds. This higher revealed wisdom opens in the seven seals in Western tradition, or the seven chakras in the Eastern tradition. Through a process of breathings, visualizations, and projections, the seven seals open simultaneously, linking us with the cosmic tree of life. Beyond the circuitries of our body and mind, we enter the higher dimensions of thought form creativity and operate as one with the eternal mind of the I Am. For this reason, the keys are to be experienced simultaneously on all seven levels of form and divine form, from the subatomic, molecular, genetic, mathematical, musical, paraphysical, and the superluminal aspects of revealing nature of the Shekinah. Yo, Tyrone! Tyrone. 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 Brr, 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 bow. Tyrone. Brr, Tyrone. Brr, brr, Tyrone. What's good? What's good, bro? Yo, we out here, bro. We out here. Stream spiked up again. Let's go. I'm hyped. Yo, I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. We're streaming right now. Hello, welcome to the stream, Kelly. We got Tyrone, we got Dark Skull 92, we got like low key one of the most promising artists in our chat, freaking SS Nasty. Yo, that guy is the GOAT. We got some of the most we got a very promising lineup to stream. Okay, guys, ready? Let's continue. For this reason, the keys are to be experienced simultaneously on all seven levels of form and divine form, from the subatomic, molecular, genetic, mathematical, musical, paraphysical, and superluminal aspects of revealing nature of the Shekinah. Ready, guys? The Shekinah presence, the divine presence, the feminine aspects of the Godhead, exists in all creative ordering of all dimensions, and is the power through which we are respatalized to partake of the virgin birth of our embryo God self. This is the age of the Holy Spirit, where the bride and the Creator become one, creating a new peoplehood of trinitized power, who are the bearers of a higher Christ seed, unfolding anew by virtue of this greater union that is without dualistic separation. Through the knowledge of the what? What happened, Anna? What you said? We're only. This is only just the prologue, Anna. This is only just the prologue. We're not even done the introduction yet. We haven't even started the introduction, so it's okay. Through the knowledge of the keys, beloved, you will be prepared to go through the destructive fury of the earthquakes, floods, storms, pestilence, famines, and the mystery of the birth and death, change and permanence that you will find place in your universe. Bruh, someone get this man out of here. Bruh. 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 That is crazy. We got, oh my god, 3? We got 3? Oh my god, no way. Yeah, I should moderate you, yeah. Hello? Pajit? Who's Pajit? Bro, what the fuck? Yo, we got so much people like spamming. What the hell? Hi, I'm good, guys. I'm just dealing with some spam right now in the chat, but I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed. Pajit, eh? Yeah. I know, right? I got, oh my god, bro. This is like crazy. Bro, how do you, is this like my first hate? We have our first hater. We have our first hater. Oh my god. Yo, we have our first hater. That's crazy. Yo, this is hilarious. I'm actually having a fun time with this a little bit. Dude, what the hell? Yo, we the Enochian summoned this, guys. Yo, the Enochian summoned this. The Enochian summoned this flurry of things. What the hell? Dude, what the hell? I'm at a loss for words. The Enochian summoned this thing. That's dedication. That is dedication right there. We just witnessed some dedication. We just witnessed some freaking dedication. That is some dedication right there. That is some dedication. But, yeah, hopefully that's all their accounts gone. Alright, guys. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue reading. I'm gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Yeah. I'm gonna take that in stride and be like, yo, Dabby, we got the. I'm here for the vibe. I'm smoking and chilling. Yeah. Yeah, facts, Tyrone. Yo. More people. More? Oh my god. No way. What the hell? Bro, I got time. I got time. It's okay. We are in the midst of change in the life code, and the experiences of the world around us put us all. Oh my God. Bruh. This guy is fucking this guy is dedicated. This guy is dedicated. Yeah, this guy is dedicated. This guy is dedicated. This guy is dedicated. Yo, he's dedicated to just hating. Yo, good night, bro. Good night, bro. Good night. Dude, what the hell is this? Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna, so much. We are in the midst of change in the life. Oh my God. They're just putting me. What's the difference between pink and purple? Uh, Pink. I like when I think about pink, I think about bubblegum. When I think about purple, I think about grapes. That's an edgy joke. Good night, bro. Good night, bro. What? That's crazy. I know, right, bro? Tyrone, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. Like this guy be. Bro, you didn't have to say it, bro. You didn't have to say it. You have to say it. Like this is gone. I'm uncomfortable with the studio we made, with the energy we made in the studio today, guys. We got haters. We got trolls. We got. I just wanted to read the Keys of Enoch, and y'all be like, oh my God. Like I'm just gonna keep reading. I'm just gonna keep reading. It'll give me something to do. Tyrone, you still there? Oh my God. I feel so bad for Tyrone. Like he has to come to to the Keys of Enoch. The Keys of Enoch is a book written by J.J. Hurtak, and it kind of deals with like ascension and like ascension of the higher realms, and there's 64 of them, right? But this particular book is like a Reader's Digest version of it. It has 12 of the 64 keys, but yeah, the Keys of Enoch are basically like a key and like a code to like higher dimensions. Is it religious? It's mystical. It's mystical. So it gives them religious mysticism. It has religious undertones in it. It has religious undertones in it. Um. It's religious. It has like heavily religious undertones in it, and it's I think it's pretty cool, honestly. But the Keys of Enoch. We're gonna. I'm almost done the prologue, guys. I'm almost done the prologue. Can we chill? Can we chill? Okay, thank you. Okay. Let us truly be one with the Christ, which reveals the glory of the collective messiahship for all humanity, which is in the return of Moses, Jesus, and Elijah as they left this earth. The collective transfiguration shows that Jesus does not work by himself, but within a brotherhood of light, which had its higher meaning. According to Enoch, in the threefold giving of the star code of the Father's plan to the human evolution, Moses gave the man the Torah or the blueprint of God's kingdom on earth. Elijah demonstrated oneness with the vehicle of light, which attaches our physical universe. Uh, uh, Here. I'm gonna show you guys the cover. How about that? Elijah demonstrated oneness with the vehicle of light, which attaches our physical universe to other universes. Jesus shows how the body of the flesh can be transfigured so that the human self can overshelf the body and unite as Christ's body of eternal life. The story of the Christ within the spiritual Israel is to see how everyone will have a Christ birth in the new age where true love of the Father prevails. Let us go forward to prep the children to walk with the luminaries, proclaiming the presence and the healing of the sick and the anointing of the eyes to see the living light. Introduction. Put off thy shoes from thy feet for the place where okay. Put off your shoes from your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. That is Exodus 3:5. Very mystical, right? Okay. So this is the introduction now. We're getting to the introduction. But before we get into the introduction, guys, I'm gonna give a little reflection on what we read so far. What's it called? We read, yes, Kenny al-Sufi, Kenny the Mystic. Yeah. Before we get into the like introduction, I want you guys to know what they were talking about. Basically, they were talking about the. Now here's the thing, though. There's an outlier in this collection of people that J.J. Hurtak listed, and that is Moses. So out of these people, Enoch, Jesus, Elijah, Moses is the person who stands out amongst all of them. And the reason why this is because three out of those four people never experienced, like, they cheated death. Like, Jesus faced death, but he conquered it. Elijah, he transcended death up a fire. And Enoch, he walked with God continuously to the point where God translated him into another dimension, right? So Moses was the only person who experienced death in that. But here's the thing, though. There's a story in the Quran, actually, about the angel of death visiting Moses, and he punches that guy in the face, bro. He punches the angel of death in the face, and his eye socket comes out of his eyes, and he comes crying to God, like, who did you send me to go take his body to? Like, who did you go send me to? Like, this guy is crazy, bro. So even Moses, and even in an Islamic perspective, he cheats death. Yeah, he punches the angel of death in the face. Like, he quite literally does that. Like, Moses in the Quranic story, he punches the angel of death in the face. And it's one of my favorite Islamic stories. It's like, it just shows that Moses is still in a lineage of death defiers. You know, he's still, like, he may have in a way chose his own death in a way, but yeah, that's what the thing that really stood out to me, guys. It's the thing that really stood out to me is that in the succession of people, right? Like, here's the thing. Let's read it again, right? Let's read it again. According to Enoch and the threefold giving of the star of the Father's plan to the human evolution, Moses gives the man the Torah, or the blueprint of God's kingdom on earth. Elijah demonstrates oneness with the vehicle of light, which attaches our physical universe to other universes. Jesus shows how the body of the flesh can be transfigured so that the human self and over self body unite with the Christ body of eternal life. So in that succession, right? Moses is kind of like the teacher. He's like the lawgiver. He's like the student of the game, basically. And it's like I think when you have, like, I'm already kind of reading in between the lines here, right? So we have Enoch, Elijah, Jesus, and Moses, right? And we have three people who cheated death, one person who couldn't, right? One person who defied death, but he couldn't cheat it, right? So when you have somebody who defied death but couldn't cheat it, you already have, like, in a way, like, something really interesting here, because Moses plays a very key role in J.J. Hurtak's cosmology here, because what he's doing is he is basically like J.J. Hurtak is basically like talking about the importance of Moses's role as like a speaker, almost like a divine speaker for the people, like a spokesman for God, almost, in a way. And it's kind of funny how this particular position that Moses gives is the blueprint of God's kingdom on earth, right? So Moses gives the blueprint. Here, I'm gonna write that on my notebook, actually. Hold up, I'm gonna write that in my notebook. Okay, I'll write this in my notebook, guys. So, don't worry, guys, I'm not done. I just don't want to end the stream until I, until I finish, until I finish reading the book. So, I got some pen. We're gonna make some notes, guys. We're gonna make some notes. Okay, so. Moses gives the blueprint. Right? So Moses gives the blueprint, then Elijah demonstrates, then Jesus, what he does is he transfigures. All right, guys. So this is what I have so far. What we have taken away so far from reading the Keys of Enoch is we have basically like understood that Enoch talks about a threefold star system. So Enoch is we're gonna say Enoch is the doctor. How about that? Enoch is the doctor. So Enoch talks about the threefold system. It's a threefold so Enoch basically talks about like a threefold like star system that exists, right? Moses gives the blueprint, right? Elijah gives the demonstration. Elijah demonstrates how the blueprint should be done. And Jesus transfigures and transcends the blueprint to a new level, basically. So what does this mean from like a pragmatic sense? Like, what does this mean like from like a practical sense, right? So what this means is that the universal laws, right, given by the lawgiver, which is the Mosaic archetype, right? The universal laws are basically like the blueprint of existence, right? But then once you have the blueprint, you need to have somebody who enacts and who actualizes how the blueprint is supposed to be done, right? Then once you have somebody who has finalized the blueprint, you need to have someone show the next level of the next step on where you go once you finish doing the blueprint. So we have three people who do this, right? We have Moses who gives the blueprint. We have Elijah who gives the demonstration, and then we have Jesus who does the transfiguration or the transcendence of the blueprint, basically. Let's go, Anna, let's go. It's crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Yeah. Anyways, that's something I'm really taking note of. Okay. I'm gonna put a 333 in the chat. Can we get a 333 in the chat? Yeah. For good measures, for abyssal measures, can we get a 333 in the chat? Yo, this is sick. Lol, get it. A 333. Again, can we get a 333 in the chat? For can we get a 333 in the chat for what's it called? For the system we just made? Cause this is crazy. Yeah. It's okay, we got 3 viewers though. Haha. But yes, hi Anna. Yeah. What's it called? Introduction, right? So this is where I go? Where'd I go? I'm still here. I'm still here. Like, I'm not saying any. I'm still saying things, you know. I'm still here. We're gonna get to the introduction now, guys. We're gonna get to the introduction. This is what the introduction looks like. While I was in the act of prayer, calling upon the name of the Father, asking to know the meaning of life and for what reason I was called into the world, my room suddenly became full of different type of light, and in the presence of this light, a great being stood before me, who announced who he was, the master Opha named Enoch. This being had so much love and light, I felt as if I were a child in the presence of this divine master Ophanim. The being asked if I were ready to go with him into the Father's midst, and I said I was. And with that, a great field of light was placed around my body, and I sped upwards into the heavens, first into a region of stars called Merak and Muskida. And when I was in the region of the heavens, I was told about the earth and my temporal homeland upon the earth. I was told how those who govern the powers upon the earth are those who have fallen upon the higher heavens and now indwell in the stars known as Earthman as Ursa Major. From this threshold gate, they control one of the major entrance points into our local system from the higher heavens. I saw how the masters... Oh, 3 in the chat? Oh, I was just asking for 333 in the chat for the system we made. But yeah, we're gonna continue. I saw how the masters from previous cycles were cast down to the stars, from which they now govern the lower planetary worlds and the karmic penalties that were associated to each. No, what happened to H? What happened to H? RIP. Oh no. It's okay. Yo, what's up, Tyrone? What do you think of the book so far? What do you think about the book so far? What do you think of... Oh, sorry, I'm repeating myself. Yeah, what do you think of the book so far? I think it's fun. I like it. We're not ending stream until... He was just talking about the troll. He was just talking about the troll. Yeah. What's it called? We're gonna enter. We're gonna keep going. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can untime him out. It's okay, Anna. Mistakes, growing pains, growing pains, growing pains, growing pains. I saw how the masters from previous cycles were cast down to these stars, from which they now govern the lower planetary worlds and the karmic penalties that were assigned to each. I was shown how the Earth was part of a biochemical testing zone, using both fallen and divine thought forms, and determining what type of intelligence could eventually free. Here. It's okay. I got you. Oh no. Well, just take that as a lesson, okay? Take that as a lesson. I was shown how Earth was part of a biochemical testing zone, using both fallen and divine thought forms, and determining what type of intelligence could eventually free itself from the countless physical realms of existence controlled by the fallen hierarchies, inhabiting the regions of Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Polaris, and Tubin. These realms contain beings in imperfect bodies of light who use their power to establish themselves as gods in the lower realms. Hello, welcome to the stream. And I was taken from this region of the stars into the midway station of Arcturus, the major programming center of the Galactic Council, serving the Father on the side of our galaxy, which is under the direction of the Council of Nine, the governing body of our local universe. There I was shown the network and the cores used by the spiritual brotherhood, who adjudicate decisions pertaining to the planets involving our region of space. Yeah, Anna, this might be for you still. JJ Hurtak goes a little bit into like this kind of starseed stuff a little bit. I know you've already heard a little bit of like familiar terms like Ursa Major, Minor, Arcturus, and stuff like that. I know this stuff like rings bells for you for sure, 100%. This song already was turned, but here's a bell. Do, 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 do. Okay, you guys ready? Let's go. I was taken from Arcturus through a series of tessellations, which seemed to be a different light density, where multiple subtle shapes, concentric fields, intersected on a threshold that was formed running through the star spaces connected with Orion. My physical body at the threshold gate had to exchange its garment of flesh for a garment of light as I passed through the star regions served by the Brotherhoods of Light. From there, I was declared to go on a greater paradise of light called the Seventh Heaven. There, the thresholds to this region of the sky were full of eyes and burning fires of the Elohim masters who govern the higher dominions of power. From the burning fires, tongues of lights projected out to forms or light stations. Amidst the ore stations, I saw wheels within wheels, the vehicles of the Ophanim messengers serving the lower heavens. These Ophanim messengers joined to other angelic orders proclaiming, Kodesh, Kodesh, Adonai Zabaoth. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. I was taken then by Enoch to the region known as Scythe by the great star field of Orionis. From there I was taken into the presence of the field of light known as Mintaka. And within the field of light, I was met by a being of great light, a great being of majesty called Metatron, the creator of light in the outer universe. And my spirit was so overwhelmed with the presence of the higher light, I would not have been able to maintain my body of light were it not for the body of Metatron. Metatron then took me to the presence of a divine father, and I went to his presence through the door of the Omega Orion, which served as the grand entrance to regions of pure energy emission. 100%. The presence of the Father was so rarefied that only Metatron could take me into the pyramid of the divine light, the throne, where I saw the Ancient of Days face to face. With his flowing white hair and his face overwhelming love and joy, No words can express the eternal and sanctification of knowing that the Father called me to his presence, to tell me of which reason I have left behind my toga, to take up the perishable body of time to serve this planet. This pearl within the rosary of the stars that are set to the edge of our consciousness time zone to glorify his right hand. And in his presence of light I proclaim, you are worthy, O Lord Yod-He Vav-He, to receive glory and honor and power. For you have created all things, and for your pleasure the aeons were created. And in the presence things, and for your pleasure and in the presence of his throne of light, I bowed my head and I said, I saw 24 elders of light who were around his throne singing praises, Kodesh Kodesh Adonai Sabaoth. I saw on the right hand of the Father, Christ Jesus, and Metatron told me that these lords of light are worthy to sit at presence of the Father, for they choose periodically to leave his presence and go out and create other worlds of light, known as the worlds of the Elohim. Before the throne of the Father, I was told of my work as being part of Enoch, to serve the universes of the paradise sons, who in turn form the councils of the light that receive commandments of light and ordinances of fire projections from the 24 elders of light to create new universes. And I was told by my guides, Enoch and Metatron, that I was not to eat the food of the false powers of the earth, nor encourage my seed to marry with the fallen spiritual races of the earth, nor join in false worship of those who serve fallen mind energies of the earth. But my reason for being was to exalt the Father, so that all knees should bend and that all heads should acknowledge that the time is at hand for the externalization of the Father's hierarchy, so that his kingdom will come on earth as it is in heaven. Thanks, Anna. Respects. I was taken to many other regions and instructed in the revelation of how the many mansions of the Father were opening to the birth of a new heavens and a new earth. While I was before the throne, I saw a burning scroll rolled as a cylinder, and put out of this burning scroll was a light projected onto my third eye, which imprinted the scenario abstracts that contained the keys that are to be used for the marriage of the bride and the bridegroom. The keys reveal the overlap between the higher evolution and the human evolution as a man is taken through his alpha and omega. These scenario abstracts were projected in glowing geometries of light, which are part of the fire letters used to describe knowledge from Father Universe to Son Universe to Shekinah Universe, and connecting one eternity of time with another eternity of time. I was shown how the mysteries of the Father's house of many mansions allow for infinite myriads of creations to proceed out of the Father's inexpressible love, linking all manner of specie creation with the infinite way. Thus, many mysteries of the Father's kingdom were revealed to me, including the nature of the officer of the Christ, the history of the brotherhoods upon this planet, the reason why the true teachings of Yod-He Vav-He were encoded into the language of light, the order and dominions of the Galactic Council, the return of the Messiah, and the transplanting of the Christ seed beyond the threshold of Alpha and Omega. I was told to compose a scroll on parchment from the divine scroll of light that was encoded to me, and this scroll is the 64 keys of Enoch, explain how the 7 seals of the book of Revelation will be broken as all measures of science, from the biophysical to the astrophysical, are attuned to a new spiritual revelation in the name Ehir Asher Ehir, I am that I am. The scroll is to bring forth new cosmology of consciousness and explaining how the brotherhoods of light will work with members of the human race who can accept the promise of new life in the myriad of other universes. The keys, thus, are to exemplify both the spiritual understanding and the scientific understanding that must converge if the right reality structure is to be shared by members of the human race and taking a quantum leap forward into the new age. The purpose of his teaching is to open people's minds to new ideas, inviting you to share to the experience of the education of the soul. As your soul is advanced, you become a part of the joyous participation and share in the inner peace of the greater unification of the First Supper, now taking place between the brotherhood of man and the great universal intelligence. The brotherhoods of light and the education of the soul, it is necessary to receive wisdom derived from the higher worlds, which unites your bodies of light, provides the foundation of your creative experience. The wisdom reveals how we can share both in a higher world of light and this physical world of reality. This teaching is to make you aware of the divine light worlds within and without, allowing you to co-participate with the many worlds of intelligence that are part of your collective birthright. Oh wow, this is long. You are to see how life's blueprint has already existed in worlds prior to material creation, and to understand how a timeless blueprint was coded into this body of temporal consciousness so that your body can be put in other garments of God's creative work, the multiple bodies of divine love. These are the 64 keys that were shown to me by Enoch and Metatron to unite the nations for the coming of the Melchizedek Brotherhood and to make ready the final preparation of the descent of the 144,000 ascended masters who will redeem the meek and the righteous of the earth for the new life stations of the universal intelligence and the higher kingdom of the Father. In the presence of Metatron, the unity of days, and Yahweh the Ancient of Days, I was told how the scroll of Enoch was to be divided into 3 portions, which deal with 3 major divisions of the universe: Father universes, Son universes, and Shekinah universes. The keys to the Father universe are explained by how the mansion worlds of the Father are connected to the divine creators, creating new universes through cosmic pyramids of light. The keys to the Sun universes explain how the biological codes of the Christ race are to evolve in the image and determined by the Father through the paradise suns and not through the lesser forces of light. The keys to the Shekinah universes explain how the spiritual gift of the Holy Spirit will give to the Christ race so that spiritual man can work directly with the whole light beings, the angelic messengers who will prepare the righteous for the earth on the council of light, which will be established upon the earth at times of the new heavens and the new earth. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. So it seems that they're doing a triune force here, and like this is definitely like mystical Christianity, like to a T, 100%, guys. Like I'm really digging this, but yeah, I'm gonna write that down actually. So there seems to be like a 3 world. It seems to be like a 3 world cosmology, similar to like how like Islam has a 3 world cosmology. Agrippa, like Neo Hermetics has a 3 world cosmology. The Vedic system has a 3 world cosmology. Like 3 world cosmologies are like very huge, and you could even say that even Orthodox religions have 3 world cosmologies because they believe in heaven, hell, and earth kind of to a certain extent too. So you could even say that like even fundamentalist religions have a 3 world cosmology in it too. But yeah, 3 world cosmologies are like not like alien to me. Like they're just characterizing it with the Christian Godhead. I understand why they're doing that. Like, but they're using the Christian Godhead to basically like characterize like a 3 world cosmology, which I think is like very interesting. I think it's very cool. Like yeah. The keys of the Father of the universe will explain how the mansion. So there's a yeah, Anna, there's 4 worlds too in Kabbalah. The 5th world would probably be like a culmination of all the worlds. But if there were to be a 5th world, it would be like a combination of all the rest of the worlds, and it would probably be a spirit world. But 3 and 4 are typically like the threshold, and like a religious sense, and like in my religion sense, like 3 or 4 is like 3 or 4 is like the threshold. But what's up? Welcome to the stream. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Whoop-ham! Anna, it depends on what you'd view as the 4th and 5th world, because like I said, Anna, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you remember this conversation, Anna, but remember I said how all the different types of magic, like green, purple, blue, can all be put in the 3 majors, like red, white, and black. Like, you know how I said that you could put all the rest of the colors into just the major 3. So if there is like a 5 or 6 or even like 10 world cosmology, I'm sure you could fit it within the 3 or 4 world cosmology, because the 3 or 4 world cosmology is meant to like basically like compact it as a whole. But yeah, welcome to the stream. It's not stream. Welcome to the stream, Raw. We are reading the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak, and I usually give like a basic biography of like J.J. Hurtak and stuff like that. But I think it's actually at the back of the page actually. No, it's not actually, but uh. But there's 64 total Enochian keys that JJ Hurtak basically gives out, but this book specifically has 12 of 64 keys. So we get to get a little like introduction. That's what it's called. It's an introduction to the keys of Enoch. I got this book for like $15 at a metaphysical store, and I love it. I love it so much. But yeah. Yeah, just a little just a little like how do I say this? It's a little introduction to new people coming into the stream and stuff like that. Yeah. Right now we're making notes actually. We're making notes right now. So right now Raul, we're talking about the three world cosmology and how this book has an encapsulation of the three world cosmology and in the form of the Christian Godhead, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, which they deem as the Shekinah or the feminine divine presence, basically. So using the Christian Godhead, J.J. Hurtak, the author, is giving out a three world cosmology, and so I'm going to basically write it down. Father, new worlds. All right. Now the Son, what he has is the code to connection. Okay? And the Shekinah has the explaining of miracles. Bye bye. So this is what we have so far, guys. So this is J.J. Hurtak's three world cosmology. This is J.J. Hurtak's three world cosmology, and it's the Father is new worlds, the Son is the code to connection, and the Shekinah is the explaining of miracles. So this is something really cool, guys, because what it basically is like illustrating is it's illustrating basically like almost like a ascension and descension process where basically the new worlds basically like the hold up, what are they talked about again? The three major divisions of the universe. Okay, yeah. So the reason why the universe is divided into these things is because the reason why the universe is divided into these things is because of the different functions and the different like core hypostatic unions that are present in the emanations that run the universe. But like we just said, guys, hello. I'm seeing some new people coming into the stream. Hello, welcome to the stream. I don't know if Tyrone's still there, but Welcome to the stream, everybody. Uh, my name is Ken. I'm the host of the Ikwanas Tahab, and we're gonna be reading the Keys of Enoch. And right now, we're getting into how the J.J. Hurtak, the author of the Keys of Enoch, has a three-world cosmology, and the ploy and like the model they used to mention the three-world cosmology is the Christian Godhead, like the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, which they use as the Holy Spirit as the Shekinah, which is the female divine presence that is poured onto the earth. It's a very earthly, feminine divine presence that is like very connective. So there's the Father, Son, and the Shekinah, right? So what we talked about is how J.J. Hurtak basically like characterized the Father as the exploration of new worlds, the Son as the blueprint towards connecting things, and the Shekinah as the explanation of miracles, right? Like how these gifts will be bestowed upon us and how these gifts will be like given to us, basically. But yeah, I think this is really cool. I think it's really interesting. All three divisions are served by the Brotherhoods of Light under the direction of the Brotherhood of Michael, the Brotherhood of Enoch, and the Brotherhood of Melchizedek, which direct the 70 brotherhoods of the Great White Brotherhood. The 70 brotherhoods serve as a field of intelligence and the repairing of the universe, that they evolve into the infinite wisdom of the glory of the eternal mind of the Tetragrammaton. Why were the keys given at this time? Enoch and Metatron have manifested this revelation so as to prepare mankind for the quantum changes affecting every level of intelligence upon this planet. We now have the opportunity to collectively move into another system of creation. Therefore, this teaching has given in the form of keys to help coordinate 64 unique areas of scientific knowledge which are to be simultaneously advanced. The keys have been given to assist all of the basic scientific disciplines to make quantum leap forward into the new consciousness of light. Since these teachings are applicable to the various sciences, not everyone will comprehend all of the keys equally, nor will the full complexity of each key be fully meaningful at the present time of our participation within the infinite way. Therefore, not all keys will appeal to the same type of scientific and consciousness evolution because they work on various levels of understanding and are connected with the totality of knowing the light, the primary frequency of the infinite mind. Each of the 64 areas of science are to be given prophetic insight which allow humanity to increase its understanding and raise its consciousness to participate with the other worlds of light. Thus, the keys are to focus scientific research on the planet with respect to the larger blueprint of life. In connecting with the wisdom of the infinite mind, the keys demonstrate that scientific knowledge by itself does not contain all the answers to the basic question of where do we come from, why are we here, where do we go from here. According to Enoch, the determinism of the earth sciences is to be subsumed into the primary plan of continual creation, which is under the organization of the higher evolution. Through this plan of organization, humans will behold and share with the universal man, the Adam Kadmon, and the unfoldment of the interior rebirth of the infinite mind, the infinite way, and the infinite species. The teachings of Enoch explain how we would truly transmute this world of the material form to be consistent with the structural pattern of the living light. Within the kingdom of light, where both man and the higher man can freely commingle as life within the living light, although the entity forms of light and garments of biological form will change, love will continue to reign supreme. Hold up. Love will continue to reign supreme. Love will continue to reign supreme as the underlying expression of the living light. The primary emanation of the infinite mind on every level of universal being. Here we are dealing not with existence and non-existence, life and death, but with a passing from one state to another. Sometimes we'll explain as a passing from one type of visibility to another. not only to the other side of the ultraviolet spectrum, but into the consciousness, intelligence which has always existed, and from a derivative garment of light, which have unfolded as many embodiments of intelligences, into the many electromagnetic spectrums. Enoch said that the keys were not simply for this planet, but were given for preparations for our work upon other planets in keeping with the greater harmony of science and spiritual truths. Within the manifestation of the living light, thus Enoch's teaching is to help the collective body of intelligence use its ability to work on many levels of intelligences within and outside three-dimensional creation, so that the divine intelligence might be felt within all things. Therefore, the keys are the interconnection of the great information. In application, the keys show the primary source of a living light of love and the love of the living light, and demonstrate how the two must work together to gather mankind as a brotherhood of intelligence, and to fellowship and create and with the greater brotherhood of light, which takes place in the same way that the mind can be gathered into the over-self consciousness, and its advanced Christ over self-consciousness once the mind transcends intellectual problem solving. What are the ancient terms included in the keys? According to Enoch, the ancient expressions of Egyptian, Hebrew, Tibetan, Sanskrit, Chinese tongues are to be used because they are faithfully connected with the masters who are still administering wisdom to this program of intelligence. These sounds of light used laying in the foundation of the present program will figure predominantly the recapitulation of this new program now at its omega point. The keys were composed of 5-letter geometrics because they were used by the masters of light to shape creation between the powers of light and the octaves of sound, hence to constitute the regenerative power by copulating expressed through the vibration of the world, which produces the letters of color geometry. The energy words are to be used to code your body directly into the light. They also provide the sound of vibrations of greeting and protection and working the brotherhoods of light and the hierarchy of Yod-He Vav-He. To place these ancient energies words in the English, modern Indo-European languages, or some other language, would deprive consciousness of the direct experience of the power of the sacred language. Transposing these words would cause them to lose their energy pulse, which is similar to the symphonic song of musical masterpiece transposed up by the original key into a strange cacophony. Therefore, the keys work through vibrations of light and the sacred explanations of the unfolding of the seals and direct expressions of God's higher mysteries. Why are we here? Ready, guys? Why are we here? What are we here? According to Enoch, our memories of the higher evolution or spiritual evolution are hidden from our knowledge by a veil of light. And when we remove this veil, the other worlds of existence will simultaneously reveal to us by our over self. However, the choice to serve the light must be made in every embodiment, in every cycle, and every plan of creation. And making choice, beloved, understand that which you were promised and the kingdom of God will be fulfilled. This is the witness to which the Son revealed when he had said those around him that they were the kingdom of being offered to Yod-He Vav-He, our Father. May the blessed Hayava, the Tetragrammaton, be upon our inner minds, so that the one who reveals himself through the holy names may activate our lives imperishably, and we may be granted the privilege of witnessing the coming of the host, who will walk with us in the flesh. Let us walk in the light, you and I. For in the end, there will be many beginnings, and this garment of life is offered up to the primordial man, puts on another garment of light. The world has become flesh, so that every living letter of light that passes through this body can create myriad bodies of light. The opportunity walks like Enoch with the Most High is now extended to all people. Hosanna. That's good. That's a really good introduction, honestly. Very good introduction by J.J. Hurtak. The biocomputer keys to our consciousness time zone revealed to be by master control messengers Metatron and Ophi and Enoch. So this is the graphic here. But I'm gonna show you guys the first key. Do you guys see it? This is lit. This comes with freaking visuals. Cause I know a lot of you guys are not like auditory or like kinesthetic or like or like theory based people. Sometimes you need some practicality, right? Sometimes you need some pictures. So this is the letter Aleph. We live in a many and one universe. We live in a many. Oh, look at that, guys. We got 7 viewers to come just as we got to show the visuals. But yeah, this is the first key of Enoch. There's 64 of them, but this is an introductory book that has 12. So that's the basic the Reader's Digest version of what we're talking about. But yeah, this is the first key of Enoch, and I love this one. This one's my favorite one because it's just so bright and it's just so vibrant, you know. Like it just speaks volumes. Like a word can speak 1,000. Picture can speak 1,000 words. Picture can speak 1,000 words. Yeah, it does go crazy. More. Wait. One, 2, 3. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is nice. Look at this, guys. Look at this. If you guys need me to read it out, what it says. The creative mind as the center of this universe is known as the Lord, King, and the Redeemer. So the creative mind as the center of this universe is known as the Lord, King, and Redeemer. That's what it says. Now, Gimel, the third letter of the Hebrew alphabet, this says, the creations which survive are creations which desire that the species gather life and light onto the image and similitude of the higher evolution, which is the living universe. You guys like this? I love this. This is great. Okay. Okay. So, key number 1. We live in a many in one universe. Key number 2. The creative mind as the center of this universe is known as Lord, King, and Redeemer. Key number 3. The creation which survives are creations which desire that the species gather life and light into the image and similitude of the higher evolution, which is the living universe. These are the first keys of the Enoch scroll. And when Enoch programmed these keys into me, he explained that we are part of an open-ended universe. Being part of an open-ended universe means we are part of an open-ended mind. We are part of an open-ended universal image. If we look at the first 3 keys, we will see that in the many and one, there is a relationship of universe to universe, and universe to many universes, and universe to many... sorry, I said that again. By seeing universe to universe and universe to many universes, we see the overall plan of development as requiring a higher mind. The higher mind is seen as the Lord, Adonai, King, Melech, and Redeemer, Messiah. The knowledge of the living mind comes after your living mind becomes open-ended. The scroll starts with an open-ended cosmology rather than a closed-ended cosmology. For if it were to say in the first key, the creative mind as the center of this universe is Lord, King, and Redeemer, it would put all galaxies into a single universe. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff, Anna. Good stuff. You're paying attention. Good stuff. And man, by starting out with his own three-dimensional concept of God, would limit God to that universe. And he would argue with his fellow man as to the meaning of God as the definition of what is God. Is he the God that is the ancient Christian theologians are seeing in the terms of the Sivadis Day, the city of God? Is he the God in terms of the Kohanim, the ancient Judaic theologians are seeing in terms of the Melech Shamayim? Or is God beyond the nature of description, whereby Yod He Vav He means that no one should begin to define what is beyond definition? If you look beyond definition, what do you see? Universe beyond universe. You see the many and the one, or as the Greek philosopher would say, en kai pan. When you see the many as well as the one, you recognize that the most perfect plurality is also the most perfect unity. By going into the splendor of the universes, you recognize a higher plan of creation that can be seen in this universe and this level of creation. Then you can understand that one must go beyond all theologies and all cosmologies which say that this God here is only in this level of creation. For God is neither here nor there, neither po nor ti, as the Greek philosophers say. He is seen in all the universes. Therefore, you must recognize all universes in order to see God, and he cannot be seen in the image of your own creative universe, for he is beyond all images. He is beyond all universes, and yet all universes function collectively as the brain diagram of the higher world of creation. Why has there been a testing of God? What unworthy deed has he done that man must scandalize his name within his own laboratories of delusion? Can the perceptual form of his planetary mind be so vain to suppose that the universe does not exist beyond the scope of its own three-dimensional matter, energy body? Has no one spoken concerning the end of this age in which, I see you, Anna, of the illusions of corrupted mind energies will cease to function in thoughts and forms? I can give you a PDF of it, Anna. I can give you a PDF of the whole thing. This is just the introductory segment of it. This is the Reader's Digest version of it, but I can give you a PDF of it. But, yeah. If the planetary mind cannot see the nature of God and the cosmos within the collective I am, yeah, this physical copy is, you could probably get it off Amazon. If the planetary mind cannot see the nature of God and the cosmos within the collective I am of its higher evolutionary body, how shall it determine its course through the heavens in order to behold and declare the truth and certain nature of life as recreated within the universe of living light? The universe which surrounds us is full of love-powered emanations, and love threshold which in man, as son of man, will evolve as life begets an eternal life. This shall be the communion of light, which will evolve into the eternal body of light, known as the Brotherhood of Light. Therefore, grasp not at the spiritual inversions of light into matter, life unto death, but awaken your vision within the light and love on the grace of humility before the magnificent and beneficent one of eternal peace. The second key is saying that the creative mind exists not only as Lord Adonai, but as King, Melech, and Redeemer Messiah. This means that the mind itself does not have to become incarnate in order to act as king or redeemer. The mind can stay where it is and program the Redeemer Messiah into any teacher of light. The mind can stay where it is and program into any master or Osiris, Deva, or Jataka, the kingship of Yahweh's sovereign energies. The mind can stay where it is and program the Lord Adonai into many universes, into many galaxies, into the life stations. King Melech is sovereign over all powers, principalities, and galactic universes of the Ophanim, the Beni Elohim, and the Hios HaKodesh. That are beyond our levels of intelligence. The higher orders of intelligence understand that the Messiah is where the redemptive energies of the body light are manifested. When they are manifested within you, you are a part of the collective Messiah. But collective Messiah unifies not only the 144,000 ascended masters that this physical universe is familiar with, but all physical universes that interpenetrate this physical plane and those beyond on other frequencies of light. We are to see, then, if man is to work with the creative mind, he must comprehend the creative mind as something beyond the anthropomorphic image of the three-dimensional God form, even beyond the light of the Adam Kadmon, even beyond the messianic form of Melchizedek. The creative mind is Ahir Asher Ahir, I am that I am, or I will be what I will be. A constant evolving, a constant remaking of every order of creation. If we are to participate in the ongoing biocosmic evolution of continuity and change within the creative continuum of the higher evolution, we must release ourselves from all vain endeavors in order to quicken the establishment of the Lord is here. This shall be the great and awe-inspiring Sabaoth of Adonai, the Lord God of armies. It is the creative fulfillment and our destiny. It is why we have been endowed with our many bodies of relativity, and is why there is a fulfillment of prophecy within our day. The fulfillment comes in the visitation and appearance of the Merkaba, and an invitation now being established to our higher bodies of light, synthesis to join in the communion of light, set in the honor of the Lords of Light, who are to be heard and understood as the Lords of Metatron, Melchizedek and Maitreya. This is the Feast of Lights, and this is the Brotherhood of Eternal Light. The third key tells us that creations that survive must desire more of an eternal life, that they must also engather the light of the living because of the frequency of light. It is determined that the next threshold within biochemical evolution, light is the emanation of divine love that desires to serve all emanations, all manner of creation that serves the living light. It's me, Mariko. Yahoo! Mariko is being mentioned without her even being here. That's crazy. What do you know about Maitreya, Anna? What do you know about Maitreya? Have you heard about it before? This is my first time hearing about Maitreya. I'm actually kind of like hoping you'd school me on this actually a little bit. Oh, Maitreya is a Buddha? Okay. So the Lords of Light. Okay, so let's read that again. The fulfillment comes in visitation and appearance of the Merkaba, and the invitation now being extended to our higher bodies of light synthesis to join the communion of light set in the honor of the Lords of Light, who are to be heard and understood as the Lords Metatron, Melchizedek, and Maitreya. So there. Really? He does now. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, Maitreya, I'm gonna have to look that up after this stream. But Maitreya is one of the Lords of Light according to that. According to according to JJ Hurtaks. So I'm gonna see though. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna see if I can get some mantras from him or something. Cause I love reciting mantras. I love reciting mantras so much. Yes, sir, Tyrone. Don't worry, Tyrone. You're knowledgeable too. You got the sauce. You got the. Guys, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. You got the sauce. You got the sauce walker. You dig? You got the sauce. So we're gonna write that down though. We're gonna write that down though. Like Metatron, Melchizedek, and Maitreya. So the three lords of the light are Metatron, Melchizedek, and Maitreya. Yeah, I've never heard of him before. Like I'm surprised. Anna, I'm happy, Anna. You Yeah, I put you onto the yeah. So not, but yo, that's funny. That's funny. Think about this, Anna. Think about this. I put you on. So the three Lord of Lights that like JJ Hurtak is talking about, right? Melchizedek, Metatron, and Maitreya. You told me about Maitreya. I told you about Melchizedek, and we both know about Metatron. Think about that. Think about that connection right there, bro. We both knew about Metatron. I told you about Maitreya. I mean, you told me about Maitreya. I told you about Melchizedek. Like the connection is just like the connection is connecting. We're connect. Look, my vein. Oh my god. The connection is connecting. You guys don't really see me on camera too much, but this is how I be vibing out when I'm in Discord calls with y'all. But yeah, don't worry, we're not gonna read all. Hold up, how many pages are in this again? $115. We're not gonna read 115 pages. Trust me, guys. I'm not that psychotic. We're gonna read up to, I want to say, 104, 105. Yeah, I'm going at. I'm going. Jeez, jeez. The third key tells us that creations that survive must desire more of an eternal life. They must also ingather the light of the living, because on the frequency of light is determined the next threshold within the biochemical evolution. Light is the emanation of divine love, but desire to serve all manner of creation that serve the living light. Moreover, within the frequency of light is determined the astrochemical parameters as to width, the dimensions, and the size of the galaxy. For within the larger galaxy is the larger image, which is open-ended just as the universe is open-ended. The similitude, the image making consistency, is also open-ended, just as the universe is open-ended. If you look at the original Hebrew scripture, you find that man is made into the image of similitude. Into indicates that evolution is continual and gathering of light. But why the image similitude but salmainu and kidmotenu? It is because image is not enough. Image will die with the creative pattern of life. You need the similitude of the space-time continuum of light to regenerate the image. That is why the man of light, the primordial man, incarnates into the image of the Adamic species. This is why the Adamic species of light continuously reincarnates into the image of the Adamic species and not of the lower evolution. Without the similitude, the synchronicity of incarnations repeating the light functions and the light frequencies, the images would be here and die like a flash in the darkness. But the similitude can hold the consistency of light so that other evolutions can come into its image and feed off its image, just like others will come before your image and feed off the light that comes through your image once you have seen and beheld the Ophanim. Once you have seen and beheld the primordial man, which is part of your higher chemistry revealed to you in your identity, is your true identity patterns. For they are not in the image of the world, but in the image of the higher evolution. They are not in the similitude of the world, but in the similitude of the higher evolution. And the key goes on to say, the higher evolution which is emanating of the living universe is part of the universal mind, which can be here, as well as in any other universe of the same time. There could be multiple incarnations of the higher creation. There could be multiple programming through the light manifestation without physical form. Light is both image and similitude. Light is both energy and matter. Bestie? A person just called me bestie. Who are you? Bestie? I haven't been called bestie in a long time. I don't get called bestie very often. And the key goes on to say, the higher evolution, which is an emanation of the living universe, is part of the universal mind, which can be here, as well as in any other universe at the same time. There could be multiple incarnations of the higher creation. There could be multiple programming through light manifestation without physical form. Light is both image and similitude. Light is both energy and matter. I'm gonna write that down actually. Yeah, I'm gonna continue. I'm just gonna write this down. Light is both energy and matter. Image and similitude. Alright, so on the nature of light, light is both energy and matter, and it's image and similitude. So there is technically light matter. Yeah, energy and matter. Yeah. Light is energy and matter and image and similitude. So I'm gonna explain what that means, right? There is such thing as light matter. And I'll explain what it is. You guys look at me right now, right? You guys see this thing I'm making right here? This little hand gesture I'm making right here? This represents the crown chakra. Now the crown chakra, contrary to popular belief, is not on the head. It lies a little bit above it. So, basically, at the base of your spine, right? At the base of your spine, at the base of your spine, right here, right? At the base of your spine, binds up dark matter. Now, this dark matter is called Adi Shakti, or first Shakti, right? It is a primordial dark cosmic force that is coiled up at the base of your spine. Once this dark matter snakes up your 33 vertebrae and reaches the top of your head, it starts to transcend your body and become light matter. So when you transmute your creative force into light matter, you are creating, like what J.J. Hurtaks said, energy and matter, image and similitude. So the process of creating darkness into light is the ultimate, it is the epitome of possessing both image and similitude. What's up? Welcome to the stream! Yay! I'm having a lot of fun, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a lot of fun. Shit. It's crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Yeah, how am I? That's why they say they have to go to the dark to get to light, even though they work in tandem. I'm good. Like we're okay. So if you're new to the stream, I can run it back for you. We're reading the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak, and uh it is a Enochian inspired key that talks about the connections of the omniverse and the connections of mysticism. So we're gonna. But what's the Kundalini? Flip Jesus asked a very, very. What chapter are we on? We're on chapter. We're on keys 1 to 3, Kelly. We're on keys 1 to 3. But the so Flip G's asked a very good question, and I don't know if he's still here, but I'm gonna answer it. What is the Kundalini? So the Kundalini is the it is actually like the act of snaking. It is the snake that takes the dark matter and goes up your spine and goes up to the top and then releases the dark matter out from out from your third eye up to your crown chakra and creates it into light. Now the Kundalini serpent can actually also be characterized as the tantric sexual force. Now there's a story about the deity Shiva that basically set a precedent on how to do this. So when Shiva was confronted by his Kundalini force, by his tantric sexual energy, he sat in front, like similar to how I'm sitting. He sat in front of the snake, right? He sat in front of the snake. He sat still. He closed his eyes. He used his third eye to project a laser and decimated the serpent. Now, what people don't understand about that story is that he transmuted the energy of the serpent with his imagination. He used his mind's eye to project an absorption of the tantric sexual force. That is one way of doing it. That is a very powerful way of doing it, and that is a very cool way of doing it, but that is one way of doing it. There you can do three things. You can transcend it, neutralize it, or ground it. That's like three things you can do with the tantric sexual force. Is you can transcend it, neutralize it, or ground it. Yeah. Uh Thank you. I appreciate that. Try to get more people to join the live so we can have a more active conversation. But basically what you can do is with your but uh let me explain what I mean by that. Transcending it, so grounding, neutralizing, and transcending it. What does that mean on a pragmatic scale, right? So using your lower chakras, using your root, sacral, and solar plexus, you can ground the energy. You can take the energy and contain it and ground it down. You can pull it down, right? Then with your heart chakra, if it's in the middle, you can neutralize it. You can embrace it. You can neutralize it. You can turn it into a neutral energy, right? You can turn the tantric force into a neutral energy. Then with your throat, third eye, and higher and crown chakra, you can transcend it. You can make it go up. So you can either make it go down, forward, or up, depending on your mastery of it, depending on which you're a master of. Basically, you can make it either go down, forward, or up. It really depends on you. There's no right way on which one is like the right path to go. But Shiva gave, like, the story of Shiva gives us a very intricate idea of how you could basically, like, now I can do this. Actually, I can actually take tantric sexual energy and decimate it and control it with my third eye. That is something I can do. I'm not like a master of it. I'm not like a yogi at it by any means. I'm like very out of control of my energy. But I have moments in where I can sit there, I can like squint, I can like feel a shock through like my lower body, and then and then guide the shock all throughout my body, up to my throat, up to my third eye, up to my crown, and turn into light matter. So one of the ways you can do this is through breathing, through pranayama. You can do this through visualizations. You can do it through stretches. You can do this through meditation. You can do this through mantras. Mantras also have the power. Yeah, yeah, dude. We all do. We're men, right? Yo, we're men. Hey, yo, we're men. We're men, bro. That's just kind of how it works, right? Wow, I'm so male right now. we're men, like that's just like the like what comes with it, right? So it's like uh that energy is dark matter. Like I want you guys to look at the visuals I'm making. It's coiled up. It's coiled up at the base of your spine. It's coiled up at the base of your spine. Hey, we're moving on. We're moving on. I just dipped in 5 viewers because of that bit I just did. We're 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 moving on. I know it cost me 3 viewers. It cost me 3. Oh my god, the vein on my head's making me self-conscious. But I dipped in 3 viewers making that Gnostic meme about Mary Magdalene and Peter. That's hilarious. But yeah, yeah, um, yeah. So light. Yeah. So light being both. So light being both energy and matter, image and similitude, basically kind of fits within that constraint there. It fits within that constraint of basically being a a best of both worlds achiever, basically. Yeah. Yeah, but here, let's see. Let's go deeper into this. Let's go deeper into this. Light. I'm just reading. I'm just reading through. I'm just reading through. Yeah, of course, man. You're not alone. You're not alone, man. You're not alone. We got the we welcome to the young male struggle. We got yoga. We got meditation. We got cold showers. We got. I don't do cold showers, but okay. Ready, guys? We're gonna continue reading. This scroll speaks of the depth which is evolved into the speaking of many and the one universe. My brothers and sisters, whose praise of God resounds through the many heavens, know thee that your faith has been most cherished by the host of heavens, who stands ready with the light energies of redemption, who are swift in their delivery of justice with the swiftness of fire. For these host energies are the networks of salvation, the electromagnetic energy circuits set in place around the earth and prepared for the computing of our light life spectrum conversion. Our energy conversion has been prepared and focused through a series of interconnecting pyramid functions, which are crystallized biorhythmic wave formations. These functions go into the appearance and reappearance of our species creation throughout the aeons of time and transition. The species of light have remained intact throughout these ages because they are invincible projections of divine creation that withstand negative fields of desolation and abomination with the love of God and their selfless devotion to consciousness growth and evolution. So this is the, oh my god, This is the cubic stone. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. You don't know how happy I am to see this. This is the cubic stone. Oh my god. That's wonderful. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. This is how you eat a Big Mac. But yeah, this is the cubic stone. This is like the magnum opus of the alchemical process, you know? But I'm gonna explain to you guys what the cubic stone is. Um, so it takes a little bit of explaining the vision and the voice to understand what the cubic stone is. The cubic stone is the magnum opus or the great work of the alchemical process. So once the 12 processes of the alchemical process has been attained and has been conceived and has been channeled with prima materia via the three majors, the cubic stone is formed. Now, the cubic stone and the vision and the voice, yeah, it looks multidimensional, right? Nice, it's sick, right? So the cubic stone basically is it's like a, how do I say this? Like, it's like a seed of immortality in a way. It's a seed of immortality, and it's like a it's like an it's like a constant almost in like the process of alchemy. So in the vision and the voice, it talks about how in the 30, so in Enochian, like I guess this is worth bringing up because this is the keys of Enoch after all. But in the Enochian system, uh the there are 30 ethers. There are 30 ethereal levels. Now we are in ether number 30. So coming to you live from ether 30 called Tex, Tex, coming to you live, we are on ether number 30. Now, and the vision and the voice, like this is this separate book. We're not talking about this book, like the book we're reading. We're talking about a book that relates to this, right? And the vision and the voice, they talk about how the divine name was shattered in 1,000 pieces against the cubic stone. So think about this. I want you guys to like picture this. I want to paint a perfect picture for you guys, okay? So there's a container of divinity, of pure divine energy that lies within the divine name, right? The divine name is a holder of, it's a sigil, it's a living sigil of divine energy that when is uttered and when is spoken can bring forth upon powerful tools and powerful energies that can come across you, that can rise up dark matter into light, or can receive light into even greater energy. So when you speak the divine name, when you align yourself with the elemental forces that make up the divine name, you invoke the supreme authority, right? You invoke the supreme authority. So what happens when this container of this divine energy gets thrown against the process of transformation and alchemizing and shatters into 1,000 pieces? What happens when that happens? You get the creation of the shadow. This is where the shadow and where the shelf of the divinity and where the clipoth emerge from. So it's kind of like an origins of evil story a little bit. It's the origins of why we see inconsistencies in the universe. It's basically that the container, or why we live in third density, I should say. Like what is like the gist of third density? The gist of third density that we live on is basically talking about how it is a dispersion of the different letters of the divine name all across the cosmos. The experience we're living on is a dispersion. It's a spreading out. While other universes, other experiences are gathering in, this universe is spreading out. It's a one huge spreading out. And if you don't believe me, that this universe is one huge spreading out, the Sumerians and the Mesopotamians also had an idea of this universe being more of like a spreading out of energy rather than a gathering in of energy. And I'll explain what that means. And the Enuma Elish, which is the Mesopotamian origination story, Marduk slices the earthly energy Tiamat in half, and he stretches out her upper half to make the heavens, and he stretches out her lower half to make the earth. So this universe is a dispersion of energy. It's a shattering. It's a cosmic shattering, basically, is the experience. And we're experiencing dispersion of energy. Like energy is here, here, here. Perspective is here, here, here. Mind is here, here, here. Body is here, here, here. We're experiencing life on a macro scale. We're experiencing unified conscious on a how do I say this? On a plentiful scale. Where we're experiencing unified consciousness on a plentiful scale. And I think that's like the beauty of it, really, is basically it's like to go, yo, is Tyrone still in here? I wonder if Tyrone's still in here. It's almost midnight. If Tyrone's still here, that'd be fucking cool. But I've been having so much fun just reading this. But that's the cubic stone, guys. Yo, let's go! Let's go! Oh my god, let's go. That's prime. Yeah, this is the cubic stone. I'm so happy to see this. You guys don't understand. I'm so happy to see the cubic stone. I'm so happy to see the cubic stone because it is one of the coolest concepts I think I've ever come across in terms of like alchemical and like in terms of like understanding like an origin of evil and understanding like, and I'm not trying to get political here. I'm not trying to tell too much, but many different religions imitate this process of basically like a divinity, like a divine container, revolving around like an alchemical a great work and causing like a shattering when they collide with each other. Like there's I can't say too much because that would be like spoilers type shit, but there's a lot of imagery of that in modern religions, and it's also in the sacramental practices too. The sacramental practices you do in a lot of religions as well, they also to a certain extent imitate this process. Basically we have, and in Lurianic Kabbalah, this process is called the Shevrat HaKalim, or the shattering of the vessel. So in Lurianic Kabbalah is a very, very popular school of Kabbalah by Isaac Luria, and also known as the Airi and stuff like that. But the Airi, or Isaac Luria, is a very popular rabbinical commentator on the Kabbalistic system, and he made like almost like an 11th sphere that's kind of like always there if you kind of see it in a way, but he made like an 11th sphere out of the 10 Sephirot, and it's used by many modern practitioners without them realizing that this sphere, even in a pragmatic sense, it's not technically present. It's not technically real. It's not technically there. It's shadowed. It's like underneath it, basically. But Isaac Luria is like a really like, if you're ever studying Kabbalah, if you're ever studying like a lot of this stuff, Lurianic Kabbalah will definitely come across you. Lurianic Kabbalah covers the Anabacoa prayer. Lurianic Kabbalah covers like a very cool take on, like, we just talked about the Shevrat HaKalim. We just talked about the cosmic shattering, the shattering of the vessel. That as well also, like the cosmic shattering of the vessel basically like denotes like a similitude of like where like the shadow comes from. So if you guys want like a basic like rundown of what the Shevrat HaKalim is, this is basically what it is. in Jewish mysticism, right? In the original Jewish mystical traditions, what they believe is that matter is simply just light condensed onto antimatter or onto darkness, basically. So they got this theory from what the Torah says in Genesis chapter 1, where it says that the earth was chaos and desolation, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So think of it like this. Think of it like this, guys. You guys see my hands right here? Think of it as basically like the earth is like this womb right here, right? The earth is like this deep, dark womb. And then God takes a part of the light, disperses it, like releases the light falls, it goes into the tract of the womb, and it becomes everything that we see around us, everything that we perceive, everything that we experience, and everything that we know comes from this process, basically. And in 2013, they made a Nobel Prize for people who found the exact moment that this process was made. It became known as the discovery of the God particle. Like, you guys can search this up. The discovery of the God particle. Like, it basically like denotes like the moment in history and where this process was basically kickstarted, and where basically think of it like this. Like I said, there's the womb of the earth, and then there's like the source vessel right here, right? There's a source vessel right here. The womb of the earth at the bottom, or the third density, right? And the source vessel at the top, and then it takes a piece of its light, releases it. It goes deep into the wombs of the dark, chaotic and desolate earth, and just creates everything around us. So that's how the world was created in Jewish mysticism. And I think there's a lot of validity to it. So what is the Shevrat HaKalim then? During this process, right, where light was being like condensed and condensed and layered and layered and layered and layered into matter, certain vessels couldn't handle like the overabundance of light, and they shattered, basically. They broke, basically. Like they were in shock, basically. And this shock response basically caused this cosmic shock response basically caused a rip in the timeline, and in this timeline created the clip off of the shadow. So I'll summarize it up for you guys one more time. Light, so the earth starts as desolate and chaos and desolation. Then light gets put in the wombs of the darkness of the earth. Then light gets condensed and sifted into matter. Then matter, in that process of light being condensed into it, shatters and becomes the inconsistencies or the darkness or the evil that we see in the universe, right? That is the Shevrat HaKalim, and that, my friends, is the significance behind the cubic stone. The cubic stone. Okay, you guys ready? The keys to the living biophysical and astrophysical universe are the living light pyramids of life, existing within every structure, within every field of creation. His words, not mine. Enoch is telling us that each level of evolution has a pyramid of light through which the human creation must pass through on its way into the greater creation. If we are to go beyond our... Yeah, literally. Like, it creates the perception of inconsistency, basically. It creates a shadow, basically. But I would love to see like a more relativist thoughts on the Shevrat HaKalim and what they think the cosmic shattering is. But yeah, we're gonna keep going, okay? We're gonna keep going. Enoch is telling us that each level of evolution has a pyramid of light through which the human creation must pass on its way to the greater creation. If we are to go beyond our three-dimensional set of creation, we must go through our three-dimensional field of energy into the multi-dimensional field of pyramidal light energy. Therefore, each pyramid of light is energized with Yod-He Vav-He's eye in the center of the pyramid. There is a cosmological constant which enables every realm of intelligence to be reprogrammed into a high level of creation when they can go through their pyramidal energy field of creation. Thus, the pyramid, the eternal programming of Yod-He Vav-He's I, is there with you at all times and is working with every level of evolution. If you look at a platinum crystal under a field of ion microscope, you see bubble formations which form pyramid shape of light going from every stage of geometry all the way through the immediate field of the crystal. If you look at blood crystals under an electron microscope, you can find the shape of the pyramid field in the crystal forms of blood. What you're seeing is the Merkaba, which connects the key pyramids so that light can be used in unfolding the next stage of evolution. The key of Enoch is telling us the biophysical relationship which exists in all life processes from the smallest hydrogen atom to a large quasi-stellar formation, and eventually going to prove that the pyramid of light is the central geometric form for all biophysical and consciousness evolution. The pyramid shows us that the universal mind is all present, not only in every molecule or star ionization, but in every vibration of consciousness flow. Wherever you look, you are going to find that the consciousness flow is going to go in that universal constant. A close examination of the pyramidal unit in hydrogen atoms will further reveal the geometry of a Star of David as a life-giving form. In consequence, the hydrogen atom holds the clue to the hydrogen matrix, which makes up the present spin orientation of our evolutionary network. Once again, astronomers will understand why the ancients saw the pyramid as a gateway to the stars and the forms through which star intelligence come to serve human creation. Once again, man will understand how the geometries of the pyramid fuse space, time, and matter to form the ideal focus of star energy transmission. Enoch explained how the Brotherhood of Light established pyramids on certain planets in this solar system in relationship to Saturn. The key to the planetary table and density levels of other forms of intelligence operating pyramids are built in grid formation and are connected with chronomonitors, which measure vibratory levels of consciousness on given planets in units of 1,000 years. Okay, so I'm going to stop you guys right there. There is a lot of deep stuff in this already that I want to unravel for you guys. What is it? It is this. Enoch explained how the Brotherhood of Light established pyramids on certain planets in relationship to Saturn. So think about this. In the 7 ancient planets, Saturn is the most foundational one to this, basically. The key to the planetary table and density levels of other forms of intelligence operating within our solar systems. These pyramids are built in grid formation and are connected to chronomonitors, which measure the vibratory levels of consciousness on a given planet in units of 1,000 years. So, Saturn governs over time, right? So it does it in 1,000-year intervals. So if you guys should know this. You guys should know this. You guys should know this, okay? 1,000 years is 1 day in God's presence, right? So it goes in godly day cycles, basically. So basically what it's trying to get at is that the celestial forces continue to wrap and function in higher dimensions. However, they're powered by different ways of operating. Instead of moving, like our Saturnian force and the third density moves, and it's pretty cool because it's pretty cool because we live in the third density, and our Saturn moves in 24-hour cycles. I mean our sun moves like that, but what I mean is that our time which is ruled by Saturn, right? Our time, which is like astrologically ruled by Saturn, goes in 24 hours, and 24 is a multiple of 3. It's 3 times 8. 8 times 3 is 24, right? So think about that for a second. The 3 and the 8. What could that be, right? I suck at winking. But yeah, on the third density, we have 24-hour cycles that are garnered and harnessed by the powers of Saturn, right? In the higher dimensions and the Merkabic dimensions, yeah, time works differently actually in the cosmos. Yes, thank you, Anna. And the Merkabic dimensions, the daily cycles are 1,000 years. So every day in the higher realms is 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years. So that cycle of time translates into 1,000 year cycles pretty much, and I think that's pretty cool, honestly. Uh, hold up, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down. So the pyramids, so the planetary pyramids are in relation to the Saturnian force. So planetary pyramids relate to Saturn. Planetary pyramids relate to Saturn. What does that mean? Now, Saturn has a dual aspect to it. Saturn is the lowest level on the alchemical process. It's the metal of lead, right? However, it represents the final chakra that lies in the body, which is the third eye. Remember, the crown chakra is above the head. The crown chakra is above the head, right? So technically, the last chakra that's in the body is the third eye. So think about this, guys. Think about this. I want you guys to think about this. Saturn represents the lowest level of the alchemy process, but the highest bodily chakra one can achieve in their ascension up to the crown, and ascension turning dark into light. The third eye is the highest bodily chakra. So think about that polarization there that Saturn holds. It has the best of both worlds. So it's no brainer that the pyramidal structures, these celestial pyramids, relate themselves to Saturn, because Saturn is a possessor of two. Saturn is and a funny thing is that Saturn is the planet that I'm trying to work myself towards actually mastering. But if you can master Saturnian force, you can master a lot of really cool things, and I'll explain how. Because on the six-pointed star, like I want to show you guys something, okay? I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna draw a six-pointed star. Are you guys looking? You guys looking? I'm gonna draw a six-pointed star. Flip, I like what you're going with that, but what I'm gonna tell you is that the here, so Saturn lies right here, right here, guys. Saturn lies at the top of the six-pointed star. You guys know that? Saturn is at the top of the six-pointed star. The sun's in the middle. Yeah, okay. So Saturn's at the top, Mars is here, Mercury is here, Jupiter is here, Venus is here, Moon is here, Sun is at the top, Sun is in the middle, right? So the cool thing what Flip G said about Christ's halo is Saturn is that in certain Kabbalistic systems, the angelic class that rules over Saturn are the thrones. Like they're the thrones of God. Like that when they talk about God being on a throne, they're actually talking about them being on a class of angels, basically. Like they're sitting on like a pocket dimension of time, basically. Like the thrones are basically Saturnian angels from what I understand. I could be wrong on that though. I do have some videos from my mentor talking to me about thrones on like a deeper level. But from what I understand, the Saturn angels are thrones, basically. So yeah, the angels. Yeah. But the thrones are crazy. Yeah, Christ Halo is Saturn. That so so basically I want you guys to think about it like this. I want you guys to think about it like this. During Daniel's vision, right? When he saw the thrones, he saw like the time the slivers and like the sockets of time, basically the timely angels, the angels that hold time itself. He saw two thrones. He saw a throne for the Ancient of Days, right? And then he saw the Ancient of Days sitting there. But then Daniel saw an empty throne. And this is the most badass like dialogue I've ever seen in scriptural history. Like this Daniel chapter 7 is one of the most badass entries you could ever see in scriptural history. But basically what Daniel sees in Daniel chapter 7 is he sees two thrones. He sees like these Saturnian like angelic like kind of like places for God to like rest upon and be clouded around, basically. That's what the thrones are, right? So he sees the thrones and he sees the Ancient of Days sitting on the throne, right? But then but then Daniel sees an empty throne and he's like, who is this for? And then the Son of Man walks in, takes the throne, and it's like the whole crowd goes wild. Like, it's like crazy. Like, the Son of Man basically takes the throne and reclaims sin and death as basically like his own, transmutes the form of sin and death, and creates an everlasting society of messianic governance and peace. That is some powerful, powerful stuff. That's some powerful, powerful stuff. The Danielic vision, the Son of Man is it's like this. It's the Christ body underdeveloped. So there's the Son of Man and there's the Son of God, right? These two terms are used interchangeably. So basically, like what Daniel saw was like an underdeveloped like a logos, like the logos, right? The logos like being like the word of like the emanational word of God. Like what Daniel saw was he saw like the logos transforming itself into its more transcendent nature and into its more like different nature. Because remember the logos polarizes between Sophia and Christ, right? So the logos has its ways of transforming itself into a greater like force, basically, to be reckoned with. So the Son of Man is the logos that is in the process of growing, basically. Yeah, the logos, yeah. The Son of Man is the logos in the process of growing. The Son of God is the logos in its exalted position, in its rightful position, in its rightful place, is where the logo stands, basically. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hello, cool guy. How are you? Are you a cool guy? Hopefully you're a cool guy. I'm hoping you're a cool guy. We've been getting some. Would you like a rundown of what we're doing on stream today? Would you like a little rundown of what we're doing on stream today? Cool guy? Just waiting for a response. You gotta go. Aw, sad faces. But Yes, I am. I am, Kelly. I am. But I will warn you guys though. It takes like a day or two to like load the live chat. But that's why I try to like read the live chats out and stuff like that. But yeah, like I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel. No, I'm not frozen. I'm not frozen. I'm not frozen at all. I'm not frozen at all. No, I'm just I was just very good at sitting still to a certain degree. But yeah. Um let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. They determine when successive consciousness worlds can accept physical extraterrestrial guides which nurture God level 0 growth to God level 1 status, thus completing the pyramids at God level 1 status. This growth can occur many times using the same planetary sphere to evolve many species for existence in an innumerable world. Pyramidal grids of information were established on Mars, for example, for use by artificial intelligence. They were built for the gathering of information deciphered from the magnetic lines of force attuned with thinking server mechanisms or computers existing in our solar system. These pyramids were established and grid information so that the artificial intelligence of the vehicle, though stimulated of emissions of radiation, could gather all information through short electromagnetic wave amplification. The master grids were established in units of 18. 9 are A-line controls and 9 are B-line controls, connected with a non-planetary Pyramid 5 formation, which is the central model for information processing. Thanks, Anna. I appreciate you guys being in the live. Love. Anna, could you post the could you do me a favor? Could you post the live in my server and just let people know I'm alive, live streaming? At here, don't at everyone. Just at here. Just at anyone who's online right now. And oh, thank you, Anna. Peace. Thank you. Yeah, you could put it in new videos. Put it in the new videos chat. But yeah, cause I would do it myself, but um, I can't leave the live. Thank you. I like that. Okay, but the grids collect knowledge about the complete range of subsystems, biomes, ecosystems, geological, and evolutionary information. Knowledge of energy working through all manifestations of physical form. For example, the grids measure energy as order and disorder transmitted through crystal structure and sunlight, and calculate all, all astronomical forces passing through the interplanetary crystalline network. The Greater Pyramids on Mars covered 10 times the area using by the co-creators in establishing the pyramidal grids at Giza, and 5 times the area of the major pyramidal grid established in China during previous evolutionary cycles. Human intelligence must be initiated into the pyramidal function of a light before they can be advanced to the next ordering of evolution, the next consciousness time cell. Man will then see his co-citizen and co-participant of star kingdoms which are part of a cosmic pyramid, which is surrounded by a crystalline sphere separating this universe from other universes. I know we belong to All right, ready? Let's keep going, guys. We will then see that our human creation is part of the greater creation which sees its life codes by crystal imagination into cycles of starfield creation. Before this can take place... Oh, you know that song, Anna? Say you know that song. Say you know that song. That's crazy. Say you know that song. You've definitely seen like the remix on it on TikTok. I know you belong. Okay, well I'll show it to you later. I'll show it to you later. But we're losing viewers. Oh my god, no. Uh, um, Before this can take place, the human evolution must be educated to understand the presence of the Merkaba, which is the key to engendering a whole new starseed creation. Enoch showed me the mystery of the pyramid and the Sphinx were directly revealed in the landing of the Merkaba as the manifestation of the wheel within the wheel, which I witnessed as it opened up and became one pulsating center of light technology in the shape of a pyramid. The Sphinx symbolically represents the face of thinking spiritual intelligence which can move in and out of our solar spectrum and show us how we can leave behind our solar evolution with Lion and become one with the sons of light. These spiritual vehicles of light will once again come down to the communities of righteous, which are special grid areas of spiritual vibration throughout the world. These grids contain pyramidal light patterns that will receive the vehicle which will come at the capstone of light, activating these centers of light consciousness. This is the process of transforming the human evolution to co-participate with the higher evolution. This process of transformation is directed through the proper pyramidal frequencies of light and balanced by the energies of the Shekinah universe. The Shekinah universe is the body substratum which allows this world to be transmuted into the higher worlds of its most intricate parts. Thus, the Shekinah universe transforms the basic building blocks of intelligence out of the sea of eternal to go into the presence of the Father. The Shekinah universe is the substratum of the universe of the Sun. The Sun universe contains the programs of creation and evolution directed by the Paradise Suns, spanning different life combinations of intelligence from the gross material of the pure light. Okay, let's see. The Sun universe gathers the manifestation of the gross material worlds that have been purified by offered up to the Father. The Father universe consists of universes, each having a creator God who sustains the eternal unfolding of the divine thought forms. Okay, so we're gonna not take a bit, but we're going to make some notes here, guys. We're gonna make some notes here because there's some really cool stuff about this that I want you guys to like pay attention to. The Shekinah universe, the Sun universe, and the Father universe. So, yeah. So the Shekinah universe, the Sun universe, and the Father universe, right? These three universes interlinearly connect into a single life, into a single universe that we all live in, right? So, basically, the Shekinah universe transforms the basic building blocks of intelligence. I'm just trying to yeah, I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down. Don't worry. I'm just like rereading it so I can give like a basic like a simplification of it, basically. But okay, so it seems that the Shekinah universe is a universe of guidance, right? So the Shekinah is a universe of guidance. It's a universe of guidance, basically, right? Now, the Sun universe consists of programs of creation and evolution directed by the Paradise Suns. So the Shekinah denotes guidance. The Sun universe denotes learning. It denotes learning, right? And the Father universe, I'm gonna read a little bit. Consists the universe each having a creator God who sustains the eternal unfolding of divine thought form. The Father Universe evolves a celestial architecture for the location of the thrones and dominions, the seat of the governments. The seat of governments dispatched the commission of the paradise sons and the Elohim lords of the light of creation of the world and the lower heavens. Enoch explains to me that the universe expands through the celestial architecture. Programmed intelligence takes the assignment of coming of the higher networks of intelligence to work within the intelligence of a given population, a life system. So the Father Universe evolves the celestial architecture for the location of the thrones and dominions, the seats of the governments. So guidance, learning, and leadership. That's what I'm channeling right now, guys. Leadership. So basically, I'm gonna do this again. 3 universal stages. So the Shekinah or the Holy Spirit's universe deals with guidance. The Son or the Christ body's universe deals with learning, and the fatherly universe deals with leadership, dominion, subjugation, not necessarily control, but like power, basically. Now, this is actually mirrored a little bit in Islamic world cosmology too, in the terms of the mulk, and the realm of mulk, the realm of malakut, and the realm of jabarut, right? So you're probably asking, like, what in the heck are you talking about, Ken? What are you talking about when you say mulk, malakut, and jabarut? I like your questions. So the realm of mulk is the realm of dominion. It's the realm of the kingdom. This is the density that we're on. The realm of dominion, right? Then the select, and this is also lined up a little bit with the what's it called? With the Agrippa, like with the Hermetic three worlds too, with the elemental, celestial, and divine world too. But the realm of mulk is the elemental world. It's the realm of elements. It's the realm of creation. Then the malakut is the stars. Now malakuth in Arabic and Hebrew means kingdom, but malakuta in Arabic means heavens or stars. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Anna. I appreciate you giving me the flowers. But and finally you have the realm of Jabarut. Now Jabarut means power, right? So in J.J. Hurtaks' Keys of Enoch, right? He has a simplified explanation using the Christian Godhead to basically describe these three levels of universal existence. You have the universe in where you are guided towards the truth. You have the universe where you learn about the divine codes. Then you have the universe where you are a leader and you are powered over each and every single one of the multiple dimensions across the universe. So, all in all, like J.J. Hurtak is cooking right now. He is cooking, in my opinion. And yeah. I so far have like a couple of notes so far from what I've composed. Actually, here, the antidote to greed is truth. Here. So we have the Enoch. So all three of these things, funny enough. Yeah, wow, we have a lot of notes. So we have, but a lot of these notes that we composed in the study consist of triplets, consist of threes. So the first note we talked about was the three guides: the blueprint, the demonstration, and then the transformation. or the transfiguration, the transfiguration. Sorry, right? So that's the first threefold structure. Hello, welcome to the stream. Then there's the three world cosmology, right? With the new worlds, um, with the code to connection, and the explaining of miracles. Oh my God, it's me, Kayla. What's up, Michaela? Then you have the three lords of light, Metatron, Melchizedek, and Maitreya. Then we have some stuff about, light is both energy and matter, image and similitude. Then we have planetary pyramids related to Saturn. And then the three universal stages is guidance, learning, and leadership. Okay, let's get deeper into this book, guys. Let's get deeper into this book because I low-key want to I want to go until I reach zero, until I coast at 0 viewers. I'm gonna go until I can't no more, guys, because I want to see how far I get into this book. Maybe we can actually finish it on stream. If you guys are down for the long run, we can probably finish it on stream. But because there's only 115 pages. Hold up. There's 115 pages, and it's not really a book that you read. Not all the books I read are really books. Most books I read are not really like end-to-end reads. They're really to all the people who just came in the chat, hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Ken. I am the host of Ikwan Istahab. Welcome to the stream, folks. Glad to have y'all here. But there is 115 pages in this book. Yeah, 115, and yeah, 100%. And I know what you're saying still. Yeah, so, the keys of Enoch. This is very interesting. So we read up to page 30. Read to page 30. There's 115 pages. If we keep going at this pace, guys, we can like, and there's just more people coming too. So you guys, like, my dopamine is fixed on the number of viewers. If you guys get more people in the stream, you guys can get me to keep going until I just cannot no more. You know what I'm saying? Till I just cannot no more. Yo, Tyrone, shout out to yo, my daily check, my periodic checkup on Tyrone. You still there, bro? You still in the stream, bro? Because we're killing it right now. 9 viewers? No way. Let's see if he's still in the stream. I'm gonna keep going though, but Enoch explained to me that the universe expands to the celestial architecture, programmed intelligence that takes the assignment of coming out of the higher networks of intelligence to work with the intelligence of a given population life system. Whereupon he showed me a picture of how the center of our galaxy unfolds through the opening of spiral arms as star fields cool off with their higher Earth systems, and between the higher evolution is able to program intelligence onto these newborn planets. Again, as the galaxy of population life system is expanded, sun systems cool off, and the right chemical environments form, and the star seed is planted. When the evolution reaches the next initiation point of its wavelength of light, new wavelengths of life can be projected through triangular coordinates. Through this process, the Brotherhood of Higher Population to Life System continually perfect the programs of all interplanetary creations on this side. In order to put man into building blocks of pyramidal geometries, triangular coordinates, and pyramids of light, we have this key in the consciousness of light. Centropy is the electrification of matter. Light being the highest amplification of centropy. In our mind, light functions by masers or microwave amplifications by stimulated emissions of radiation. This is projected through photon neurons, which are quantum mechanistic corpuscles of light working by means of photon amplification. All photons are in step. That is, they are reinforced in the same frequency, which modulates mental energy into physical energy. Now, essentially, this knowledge can be used to find the formula which will explain how light creates quanta corpuscles of light in the brain, allowing the brain to work as it does like a computer. With this explanation, man can see how his consciousness mind receives continuous communication from the brain from all forms of consciousness relative and our consciousness zone, which pulsate thought forms through a thinking light cell by photon amplification of light crystals. Yeah, quantum mechanics. Yes, Serena. It's crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Enoch explained that this consciousness process is continually going on as a flow paradigm of consciousness night within our physical galactic system. And in order to break this matter-energy construct, we must understand the following words of Enoch. Thermodynamic properties of non-stationary sources with subordinate models of thermodynamic systems, which negative temperature can exceed the concentration of radiated energy because of the inversion of electrons placed on various energetic levels, the wholes of which are orientated by the opposite phase. Such systems possess the potential of maser excitation, and they distinguish themselves by a nonlinear character, showing the dependent energy of entropy. The physical schema of creation is one where entropy cradles entropy, and the much broader aspect of defining and relating matter and energy as parameters of a single ecosystem. Entropy is then a subset of entropy. Centropy being a treatment of metagalactic ordering. Our ecosystem is merely a system which embraces matter-energy interactions, which for example includes such considerations as chemical reaction, thermodynamics, and central orbital transitions amongst other factors into different single functions which relate difference in single metagalactic substrate. Thus, centropy is the fundamental relationship which quantitatively catalogs all matter-energy interactions and interrelationships. Man must consider himself as part of a larger ionized field of intelligence operating as a part of these interrelationships. Yet since he is more than a host to linear unity of centropy, as energy potentially for converting centropy to zero, he can break through matter energy through certain forms of mind expansion. There's a glossary in this book. I'm gonna search up what centropy and entropy means because I'm gonna see what it has to say about it. I'm gonna search up the definitions of centropy and entropy a little bit. Doesn't seem to have it in the glossary, but seems the glossary is more of like a spiritual, glossary. But that's cool. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, okay. Yo, I just read ahead. There's a little bit of like Vedic stuff that actually kind of relates to what I do. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Thus, centropy is the fundamental relationship with quantitatively catalogs all matter-energy interactions and interrelationships. In Eastern psychology, this mental light projection is known as the third state of Bardo, light body enlightenment. and the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or Powa energy, and the Prajnaparamita Sutra. These principles show that the universe is rebuilding itself as it is breaking down and is cataloged into new geometries for consciousness to continue in the time cells of higher creation or lower creation. We can understand then that all functions of electrification of matter energy, as well as the decay and negative spins of energy, bring space, time, and matter through a pyramid of light as dimensions of energy conversion whereby the mind reaches out to the luminaries. This process allows physical man to leave behind the laws of entropy and join in unity with other intelligences who exist in other energy fields of creation serving the light. So it seems to be like a contrast between entropy and centropy. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna like play smart and be like, I know. I've heard those terminologies be used before, but I've never really knew like their basic definitions. So I'm definitely gonna look it up after the stream. But yeah, I'm interested. So in the Transcendent Wisdom Sutra, we have the mathematical star coding how the son of man, the son of human flesh, rises to the order of the star to become the son of the stars. This evolution from the physical body of creation to the higher intelligence involves a deeper understanding of life as multidimensional evolution, where individuality does not count, only the continuity of the human species. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it. To this end, the physical body must be initiated into the light before it can receive the Our-Self body of light, which is the true I Am identity. This means that all seven chakras... Oh, okay. I want you guys to hear this, okay? This means that all 7 chakra centers must first be working in perfect harmony and completely aligned within the template of light, the 8th chakra, the connecting link of the Overself working with the Christ body of light. And once man has gone beyond his physiological limitations of self and desires only to serve his fellow creation and the Father, he has purified himself from his carnal predilections and manifested love sufficient to receive the outer garment of light. Here we have the picture with the Lords of Light are trying to teach man through the Torah, or the collective revealing scriptures of Yahweh for this age, and through the truth sets forth from the pyramid hymns, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Chinese Tibetan texts of light. Through the assimilation, man becomes cosmic man, who can freely participate in the outer forms of cosmic creation. The leadership of cosmic creation unfolds through embodiments of the divine Adam Kadmon as manifestations of Atman, Mahasatman, Krishna, and Shir Koma? I know what that is. Wow. Yeah. Wow. They're going deep into like the Enochian like Kabbalistic literature with this. Wow. Okay. Each one of these embodiments of divine light represents the cosmological pyramids of divine oneself into conjunction with the human biopyramid in the physical universe. When the 2 pyramids of light come together to form a Star of David, a new star universe is of intelligence is born. Accordingly, the I Am of the high universe attaches itself to the I Am of the lower universe for the Lords of Light who bring this unification of one light harmony known as the House of David. So what did we just read there? Well, I want you guys to look at this thing right here. Hold up. I'm gonna write a note for you guys, okay? So, high pyramid, low. You guys see this, right? This is the Star of David. It's the high and low. This text is very important because it talks about the reflection of this life into the higher ones. So what I mean by that is that the Star of David is a macrocosmic shape. It's a macrocosmic form. It has all 7 points of the planets on there with the sun being the center point. Now we know that on the 6-pointed star, the top vertice on the 6-pointed star is Saturn, right? So when you look at the top of the 6-pointed star, like the top of a triangle right here, the top of the triangle right here is Saturn, and the bottom of this triangle right here is the moon. So, um, what it's basically telling us is that there, these on a macrocosmic scale, on a universal scale, these two congruent triangles that you combine with each other to make the Star of David are pyramids. So when you there and like it says in the Key of Enoch, hold up, let me see. The two pyramids of light. When the two pyramids of light basically come and combine each other, the I am of the higher universe attaches to itself the I am of the lower universe. It through the lords of light who bring its unification to one light harmony known as the House of David. Basically what this talks about is that now we could bring this back to Al-Farabi and Avicenna to a certain extent. We can bring this back to Ibn Sina and Al-Farabi. Now, Ibn Sina, these are Islamic thinkers. Ibn Sina was more of an if I'm not mistaken, Ibn Sina was heavily into Aristotle. Now, Al-Farabi was heavily into Plato. Now, these two schools connected in terms of garnering two types of realms, just like the higher and lower realms. There's a sublunar realm and a superlunar realm. Now, I don't remember the distinguishes, right? I don't remember the correspondences, but one realm, this maybe the sublunar realm or superlunar realm, one realm that could be either sublunar or superlunar, I don't remember, is the realm of the cosmos, the realm of the celestial universe. Then the other realm at the bottom is the realm of elements. So what you're seeing is a collection of the celestial and elemental world combining to make divinity. So that is the three worlds in Agrippa basically combined. So you take upper celestial, you take the upper celestial into the lower elemental to make the equal divine. You guys see that right there? You take the upper elemental with the lower, you take the upper celestial with the lower elemental to make the equal divine. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm, for the most part, straight. I don't date nobody's brothers. I date women. Like, I'm pretty straight for the most part. Hey, say one wild thing and you're getting a timeout. Oh, you're in the wrong live stream? Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. That's hilarious. You guys see this? This is lit. I love this part of the book. So we're gonna keep going until we just can't anymore. Basically, we're just gonna keep going until we can't. Let's go. We got a subscriber out of that. I'm gonna take that in stride. I'll take that in stride. That you know that we got a random subscriber out of that awkward interaction. Oh, Tyrone's back! Yo, Tyrone's back! Yo, Tyrone, we're gonna keep going on with the stream. How long do you think you can stay up? How long you guys think you can stay up for? Tyrone and Anna, how long you guys back like he? If I got the mic, I never left. I'll be chilling with my squad. Yeah, Tyrone and Anna, how long do you guys think you can stay up for? Because I might just cut when you guys leave. I don't know. But I'm thinking of going when I coast 0 viewers. But I've been coasting consistently. Like, just let me guys know when you guys were ready to go. Yeah, you about to dip soon, Anna? Okay. Yeah. So you can see the beginning of the next key. You can see the beginning of the next key then. Key 5. Yeah, key 5. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Sure. Sure, yeah. We could do a couple more pages, yeah. Let's see. We're gonna read yeah, fuck it. I'll read these 64 verses and then I'll call it a day. But yeah, I'll call it a day after I read the key 15 key 105. Okay. So I want you guys to look at this right here. This is the letter Hey. This is the letter Hey. It's the 5th letter in the Hebrew alphabet. It is, personally speaking, one of the coolest letters in the Hebrew alphabet because it appears in the divine name twice, and it can be both earth and water. So Hey has like dualistic properties to it basically, and it says this: the key to our astrophysical time zones is the 3 and 1 alignment of consciousness. Forces in the Great Pyramid with the 12 and 1 energies of time warp pyramids, centering controlling by the many and the one, throne energies of Orionis and the Pleiades. So I'm gonna read that again. The key to our astrophysical time zones is the 3 and 1 alignment of consciousness forces and the Great Pyramid with the 12 and 1 energies of time warp pyramids, centered and controlled by the many and one throne energies of Orionis and the Pleiades. So this is what it says right here. It said what I said. The thing I said twice. It says it right here in the text. If you guys can see that, but. This key is speaking directly of consciousness programming. It is telling us that the consciousness programming is connected with the Great Pyramid, which is referred to the mystical scriptures of the ancient Near East of the foundation stone. Oh, the beeping? Nothing's beeping, Michaela. I think you're thinking about like the buzzing in the background. That may be my. I don't hear any beeping. I think what you guys are hearing is probably like a buzzing and stuff like that. That's probably like my AC in the back. But I don't hear shit. What the hell? That's pretty cool. My viewers are hearing something that I don't hear. Really? Sounds like a fire alarm? I'm trying to use my ears right now. I'm like, what if they hear something I'm not hearing right now? That's that's pretty strange. No, I don't hear it. No, I don't hear it. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. There. I I mean, I can assure you guys, nothing is wrong. Nothing is going wrong. I can assure you guys. Like, no, literally, there's. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything, bro. I'm not hearing anything. Like, all I'm hearing is my AC in the back. Like, I'm not hearing anything. Like, that. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Oh, my smoke alarm did go off today, though. So that's kind of instilling some paranoia in me. Yeah, I heard, I had some beeping happening in my house earlier today. It's gone now. Man. Okay, sure. Okay, but okay. In order to understand what time warp areas represent, we have to understand the way the time warp feels as a type of energy pyramid. First, we must look at the geophysical time warps of the Earth with its meridians drawn according to the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. We know that these areas of the Earth's magnetic fields, as well as the solar flares caused by the Sun's celestial movement, meet at certain energy points or vertices. What is not shown on the map paintings of vortexia of time warp zones and their connections with the stars and the ancient astrophysical stations upon the light of the Earth. And if we consider the star fields as giving some mapping of where the Earth's biosphere and watery prism stands in relationship to given star fields, message received, guys. We will understand why the ancient Egyptian text refers to Ihim Is and why the Great Pyramid was alive with Mintaka, Aliman Epsilon, and Altinak Zeta and the Tak Orionis, or the Orion's Belt. These are the central thresholds that control the region of positive programming used by the Elohim Lords of Light to connect the many galaxies to our Father Universe. Within our galactic quadrant, these thresholds controls are necessary in coordinating celestial navigation between universes. Through the energies of Orion, the central thresholds control, the higher beings of light move across the waters of the deep. We must also understand the Pleiades cluster as one of key of the centers of propagation of light. The Pleiades and the constellation of Taurus is not to be thought as a separate threshold control for the measurement of planetary systems, but according to Enoch, the Pleiades is a measurement for all time clocks, all astrophysical temples of measurement. These time clocks on Earth are located on magnetic grids and focus into the Great Pyramids. We see that the Earth is controlled by great geomantic energy, spokes, and each energy spoke has within it 12 energy spokes and interconnected as parts of the Earth's star field. Invisible lines of force establish a systematic pattern for the formation of particles of matter and antimatter and the programming and control of individual intelligence. The main lattice formed by these lines of forces consists of 30 minutes of arc divisible into 16 smaller grid areas, measuring 77.5 minutes of arc by 6 minutes of arc, or 45 square nautical mile units. Each of the 12 main lattice areas is controlled by a high-frequency geophysical pyramid, which appears as a physical structure of these time warp areas exists in a reality as a twin force of matter and antimatter, which creates a mirror-like image which can be used to alter physical reality to a much higher reality of universal intelligence. This greater reality uses A-line and B-line solar radiational fields to create vertical and horizontal energy cube around the Earth rotational field. The Brotherhood of Light uses these 12 grids or vortexes to enable it to come into the Earth's biosphere and build great civilizations to help the consciousness of man understand his divine origin. Enoch explained to me how the Brotherhood of Light first sought to upgrade intelligences upon his planet aeons ago, and that the first attempts in recent cycles of time were taken in the Taklamakan Desert, where the civilization of Tak was evolved 36,000 years ago and reached over a vast area to what man has called the South America. Great city areas were built and seeded with great technology of the heavens, so that man could directly call upon the name of the Lords of Light, while living in bodies that were of great light and of light molecular density. Is it like drowning out my voice? Okay. I'm on to you. I'm on to you beeping that I can't hear. Great city areas were built and seated with great technology of heavens, so that man could directly call upon the name of the Lords of Light, while living in bodies that were of great light and of light molecular density. It's okay, man. I already know, bro. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth come out. After this experiment ended in disaster of the people of light intermarrying with the fallen offspring of the Lords of Light, another experiment was generated in an area of the world known as Atlantis. Oh, Anna, Atlantis! Atlantis, yo! Let's go! Okay, this is maybe for you, Anna. Oh my god, dude. Okay, ready? You guys ready? You guys ready to hear this? Okay. Their technology was based upon crystalline attunements of the matter and antimatter cycles of the matter and antimatter cycles of the physical and non-physical worlds. By stepping up or slowing down the frequency of energy between these two cycles, they could cause a shift in time-space to occur. This, however, ended in failure due to the mixing of genetic codes and factors of light by fallen Axis Lords of Lights, who used their crystalline technology to bring this great civilization of light into war and destruction. The last attempt in generalizing a higher... the higher attempt in generating a higher genetic people took place during the time of Egypt 6,000 years ago, when the great people of Israel with a higher spiritual capacity of Nefesh were implemented to upgrade the people of the world by bringing the message of Jehovah and Yahweh's kingdom to light to all nations. Guys, look. It's this is a visual representation of like the time warps, basically. The artificial and the natural. So this is like a map of the Earth, but like fractalized. So all of the stuff we were reading here was like a blueprint to fractalizing this image. So basically, if you guys see, it forms like the Earth forms like a pyramid structure when you lay it out like this. What if this was the actual map of the Earth that we should be looking at? Like, what if this is like how we're actually supposed to be viewing the Earth? Maybe not from a pragmatic, like traveling sense, but viewing it from like a foundational sense to seeing the universe. Like, this is like contact areas for the Brotherhood, but this basically shows how do I say this, like a fractal, like a pyramidic shape of how the universe like basically warps in time, basically is like what it is. And yeah, I like it a lot. All three civilizations use pyramids of light, which also exist on a higher matter energy planes. The Talcamacan area, the Peruvian of era of South America, the Bermuda Triangle area, and the Great Pyramid of Giza. So think about that, guys. Think about this, guys. All three civilizations use pyramids of light, which also exist on high matter areas, and the Taklamakan area. So Peru. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. The last attempt in generating a high genetic people took place during the time of Egypt 6,000 years ago, where the great people of Israel with a higher spiritual capacity of nefesh, which is like the spirit, were implemented to upgrade the people's world by bringing the message of Jehovah and Yahweh's kingdom of light to all nations. Is that what you want me to read? Yeah, yeah, boy. Yeah. This is fun. I'm having a lot of fun reading this. Like, this is a fun read. Like, this is a fun read. I'm learning so much. Yeah, I usually like here, look. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, right? Yeah, yeah, Jehovah and Yahweh. The message of Jehovah and Yahweh's kingdom to that part's pretty interesting, yeah. Here. I can show it right here. Um Bye, Tyrone. Have a nice day. See you at work, bro. Good night, Tyrone. Yeah, they are the same. Yeah, they are the same. The message of Jehovah and Yahweh's kingdom. I think they're using and or. Yeah, you got like one more page left, you Anna. Yeah, yeah. So do I, low key. But yeah. What's it called? There is a I feel like this could just be no. This could be a stretch here, but I think he was using and or interchangeably. Like he could have been saying like Jehovah or Yahweh or Jehovah, instead of saying like and Yahweh. Do mental more. Yo, what's up, bro? What's good? Just to pop in to show, just pop in to show my support. Yeah, what's good, bro? What's good? We're reading the Keys of Enoch. We've been reading the Keys of Enoch for 3 hours now. We've been reading it for 3 hours. Yeah, we've been reading the Keys of Enoch for 3 hours and some change. But yeah, we're gonna finish up the last bit of it, and then we're gonna read more of it next stream, guys. But No, it's not my book. No. This is J.J. Hurtak. No, I said Keys of Enoch, and I said Keys of Enoch. If I may have said Key of Solomon, the Enochian keys. Yeah. Yo, we just keep getting viewers. Like, yeah. And I'll give you one more page, and then I'll send you off for the night. But yeah. I'll let you know when the page is done. I'll let you know when the page is done. But I'm gonna read till the end of the chapter. But you guys don't have to stay to the end of the chapter. The pyramids were used as an initiation point for the vehicles of the dove, those who reign with the Brotherhood of Light. Thus, the return of the dove is directed to the previous initiation points built along pyramidal grids. In order for us to understand the present cycle of evolution, we must understand how the brotherhoods are still connected to the pyramid in Egypt as a continuation of Joseph, Moses, and Jesus, and an initiation into the governing of the special species, the Israelites, who were to be the pyramid builders of consciousness for the name of Yahweh, to lead the nations of man away from the false gods of this world and the gathering of the 12 sparks into the brotherhood of light. And Enoch explained to me that just as Egypt represents the mathematical, astronomical, pyramidical foundations of the earth, exemplified in the Great Pyramid at Giza, so Israel represents the spiritual capstone of light, exemplified by the people of Israel who received the Ten Commandments while traveling through the geophysical pyramid of the Sinai Peninsula. When humanity can find the spiritual Israel within the knowledge and alignment of the Great Pyramid without, they can place the capstone of spiritual freedom upon the foundations of this world. Thus, we see the ground plan of the physical vortex Shah as the alignment of both Israel and Egypt, which people have used to create the people of Israel, who extend the vortex Shah onto the secondary pyramidal capstones of light and science. When humanity can center the vortex Jah along the magnetic meridians of the earth, they will see how the Great Pyramid gives the point of survival, as well as the points of contact used by the Merkaba vehicles to program the next exodus out of the old meridians of time into the new consciousness of space of rebirth within the planispheres. Enoch explains that when mankind opens the pyramid sphinx and uses the consciousness meridians when connected with the 12 energy vortices of the world to this pyramid sphinx, he will have reached a threshold where the energy vehicles can return and take mankind to the next evolutionary station. In fact, the Great Pyramid is built on such a point where the magnetic field under the earth, those are on the surface of the earth, and those on the celestial fields across, are so that the fields of alignment are direct. These magnetic fields are aligned through areoles of magnetic energy, which mark points or energies from outer space pointed to the Earth's surface. These areoles are balanced on the Earth by magnetic north and south pole, and by the times when the tremendous solar flare movements bombard these magnetic points of the Earth, the fields of the Earth will be at a cataclysmic imbalance, spinning the shell of the Earth to new magnetic meridians, which find their balance equatorially. Alright, Anna, that's the end of page 40. I'm going to be reading up to page 44, so I'm going to be reading 3 more pages, guys, and then I'm going to... But, thank you, Anna, for being active in the chat. Thank you for being active in the chat. We had some minor setbacks, but regardless, though, thank you. Shout out to you, Anna. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who showed up. Shout out to you. You showed up for me. Let's go. All right, got to Anna. Peace out. Good night. All right. Now it's just me. Nah, it's just me. Nah, it's just me. Me and my 4 viewers. Let's go. And once man understands how the Great Pyramid is a geophysical model for these magnetic changes in the Earth, he will recognize that the pyramid is the actual foundational stone placed directly in the center of the Earth. The ancient astrophysical texts speak of previous geophysical tumbles which happened during great cataclysms when, for example, the area commonly called Sudan Basin was at the North Pole. When we connect the natural magnetic fields with the shifting magnetic fields, we can understand how the natural time warp already exists within different focal points of the Earth Energy Index. The higher intelligence coming from a galactic light threshold needs only to draw lines between given vortex jaw on the Earth and moving magnetic vertices in the airstreams in order to set a motion of all spectrum controls necessary to establish their coordinates. Their vehicles establish molecular triangle coordinates patterns in the air, as well as on Earth, which permits them to come into the Earth field of intelligence. When we understand this, we can see that it is the consciousness of the higher mind that draws lines in between the respective sun systems and knows which type of energy meridian to work with. The spiritual higher mind draws lines between the Earth's pyramidal zones existing on magnetic horizon and its own threshold controls, thus allowing to intersect the Earth's pyramidal forces with the celestial pyramid Orion. This activity must take place in order to secure the time warps as points of physical rebirth. When this takes place, the keystone or the pyramid color cap can come down upon the pyramid vortex jaw. For example, the higher intelligence is coming into the ocean through the Pyramid 5 energy configuration of the Bermuda Triangle, and is making use of the ocean self where there is the previous Atlantean age, preparing America to become the new Atlantis. Okay, that I do not co-sign. America becoming new Atlantis, that I do not co-sign. That is that is like everything hit in this book up to that point. Like America being the new Atlantis is that's a dud right there. That's a dud right there. That's not. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't read that. These previous Atlantean fields of crystalline energy are being reactivated as centers of energy focus on the planet which shall be used once Earth's inner core of neutral matter has been heaved up. The new Atlantean centers would be activated from the Great Bermuda Triangle, the Great Salt Sea, the Jerusalem, Hebron, which are already known as the Pyramid Eras and by the higher evolution. They said North America was the old Egypt? Maybe. It's possible, yeah. It's possible. It's definitely possible that North America was the old Egypt, for sure. I don't know too much about geography, like spiritual geographical locations. So this part in the book, like I can understand its appeal. Like I can understand its appeal, but it's kind of like flying. A lot of stuff is like flying over my head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I like this part of the book too because it means that there's more room for me to research things and get into deep stuff, you know. But yeah, we're gonna. Oh no, that's actually apparently that's like a conspiracy theory. Like I don't know, like I heard that's like a article that they posted in like a newspaper like in like the 60s. I did some research on that Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon thing. Apparently that stuff's all fake, unfortunately. But it was published by this like faulty newspaper, basically all these like a century ago. But I don't know though. Like I think North America could have definitely had like a sort of advanced society, like Allah, like Egypt, like Allah Egypt, Allah Mesopotamia, Allah India, Allah China. You know what I'm saying? But um, yeah. Um, I don't know if for sure if like Egyptians themselves were in North America. That one is like pretty interesting to think about. But even if you want to go with South America, like the Aztecs and the Mayans, they made pyramids, right? The Aztecs and the Mayans made pyramids. So, yeah, go figure. All right. We're going to keep reading up to page 44. We're on page 41 right now. We're going to read up to page 44 and then we're going to call it a night because my views are diminishing and my patience is being tested on how long I could read this book for. If I had a bigger viewer base, if I had like a more consistent bigger viewer base, I would do like 24-hour streams where we read whole books in like 24 hours, but that looks like it's not going to happen until anytime soon. But yeah, the coming return of the dove will also use artificial time warp areas so as to touch upon the islands of light where the righteous will gather who are not in the natural time warps. Um, they will land upon the sand that was promised Abraham and the prophets of light, who speak of the sands of the righteous being carried to higher levels of star intelligence. These landing places are the basin areas which were used by previous cycles of higher intelligences and which contain the documents telling how these areas will be reactivated. Therefore, note the 12 major areas of light, such as the Taklamakan Basin and Megiddo, which are aligned with the consciousness forces of the Great Pyramid and used by celestial commands. Onto these 12 areas, cities of lights or stations of light technology will come down with the Milky Way, which we know as the cities of the Sea of Crystals, for they will be brought down with stations of the heavens such as Betelgeuse, Orion, a Bethel life station honoring the Father. The higher intelligence will return to such areas as the Taklamakan basins, the Ural-Caspian Sea basin, the Dead Sea basin, the basin of the Sahara, the basin of the Kalahari, the Salt Lake Basin area, where the programmers originally came to lay the foundations of the deep during previous alpha cycles. The 12 areas, artificial time warp islands of light, will be formed out by the oceans of seas and creating interlocking circles connected with the polar areas. The harmonies of light will reveal the ancient lands of the Nephites and the Americas. These will show the overlap where the Brotherhood will land in America to gather the righteous seed. They will come within the formation of a magnificent dove, whose head of a crystal knowledge will be over the Yucatan Peninsula, whose wings shall sweep across the danger zones of the eastern and western flank of North America, whose feet will land between the pyramidal triangles of the Bermuda Triangle and the ocean near the Mount Mazalton, and whose body will gather by the pearls of the communities of the righteous of the heartlands of the Ancient of Days. Into all these areas around the world, technologies of light will come to the Galactic Command in Orion with instructions to help the atomic race bring peace to the Earth. People who are to be brought into these areas will be transfigured to go on with the galactic seed already in the image of the Lamb given to the galactic key of the Pleiades. And the seed in the physical flesh will then be like the stars of the heaven. They will take the exodus to other star systems or to begin a new star genesis, to the next ordering of creation. At this time, the Great White Brotherhood will become to take its own seed. For 20 million years ago, it planted its seed crystal within the galaxy. At intervals of every 6 to 12,000 years, the celestial lords of light gather to cultivate its seed crystal of evolution left by originated atomic guardians who, here, this is the return of the dove. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's a I don't know if you guys can see this in chat, but it's a it's a map of North America that makes out a dove. I think that's really cool. It's a map of North America that makes a dove. Yeah, see this? That is that. Yeah, yeah. Here you go. I think it looks really cool. Honestly, I think it looks really cool. What do you guys think of it? Like I said, like new people during the stream, like it's a map of North America that basically makes a dove formation. I think that's like that's really cool, isn't it? That's really cool. That's really cool. The head of the dove, no, but and it says it right here. Like the head of the dove is in the Gulf of Mexico, and guess what? Freaking I'm not trying to get political, but the current president of the United States, he changed it to the Gulf of America. That makes sense on why he did that now. Makes sense of why he did that now. He was trying to control the head of the dove, basically. But notice how the head of the dove is in the Gulf of Mexico, right here. Guys, see it? The head of the dove is in the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of America now it's called, which is just hilarious. It's just called the Gulf of America. At this point in our consciousness time zone, the celestial lords of light will come back by order of the galactic command in Orion, which governs many universes to save the atomic seed. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're almost ending, but you can stay for the last little commentary and the last little bits and pieces of it. But we've been streaming for 3 hours, so if you like some context, we're reading the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak. What do you mean? Wow. Oh! Of the 3 hour duration. Yeah, we've been streaming for 3 hours. Yeah. Actually, hold up. Yeah, almost 4. Yeah. We're reading the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Oh, 5 viewers. Oh, you guys are really pushing me to keep doing this stream, but we're reading the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak, and right now where we're at in the book is we are Thank you, appreciate it. We are looking at this map of North America that makes an image of a dove. This is what we're looking at right here. Thank you for subscribing, Guadalupe. What do you think of it, Guadalupe? What do you think about the map of North America that makes the formation of a dove? What do you think of it? Looks like an owl? Yeah, it's supposed to be a dove, but yeah, I can say it's an owl. You can say it's an owl. Honestly, you can say it's an owl. Yeah, you think it's cool? I think it's cool too. I think it's cool too. Honestly. They will deliver their seed, and the seed of the other nations will wish to be coded into the galactic tree of living light and the paradise mansion worlds of the Father. Those who have accepted the Christ seed, the Buddha seeds, and any of the Lords of the Light will have within them the active channels of light which will allow them to function as the atomic race upon the other planetary worlds and other universes. The world that they will inherit will depend upon the maturity of the soul and the way they have allowed light to function within them and service to their fellow creation. The key is giving the great promise of the great meaning of space through the galactic command which will take its seed crystal, personified in the sea of salt, and to the greater sea of crystal, where it will be able to be the salt of other existing universes and the seed crystal of the living world in the new world. Into these 12 energy fields will move the artificial time warps. As the artificial time warps move over to specific areas, the galactic command will be able to take the physical creation and energize its body. Yeah, this kind of sounds like Star Wars, yeah. Into the atomic structure of the Great White Brotherhood, no matter what race or group. The crystalline fields of the 12 Urim and Thummim will be opened, which will be cleansed, and the scroll of Revelation says that there will be one with the great white throne in the midst of the earth. The nations of the earth will be saved from war and destruction through the people of the light. The people of light will enter all the energy vortex directed by the Jerusalem command and the higher intelligence of the from Casil Orion, controlling the physical energy field now over the present Israel. These time warp zones are the stepping stones for the Watchmen of Zion. The Watchmen of Zion are being sent to the 12 geophysical time warp areas to proclaim the Lei Oish, the pillar of light, which will come out of the larger artificial time warp areas of light. The Watchers of Zion will move into these areas and code the people from these areas, those in the physical form, as well as those in other dimensions of intelligence, which have always coexisted with the people of Earth, who have not been set by the people of Earth unless they have been polarized by the pillar of light and governs all. For behold, a great sign will be given unto you, which will be the coming of the pyramidal capstone of the Christ light in the sky, which land upon the pyramidal foundations of righteous to quicken the living dust of gravitational trapped light in becoming a new earth. Now, we're going to end off the stream with showing you guys the next key we're going to read. We're going to read key number... Next stream, we're going to read key number 1112. And we read up to page 45 in the stream. And there's 115 pages in total. It is it's a mystical version of biblical stuff, really, but it's a mystical biblical lore. So like the Bible is and the Bible and the Quran from our like mystical standpoint are seen as these very, very deep, like mystical texts that can basically like transcend one's experience with the cosmos and the universe. And the keys of Enoch actually is a character in the Bible. Actually, he is one of the patriarchs, and he's part of the Adamic generation. And we're gonna end off stream, guys, by showing you guys so this is 12, right? 10 to Yod Bet. This is 12, right? So the divine is the mind face of a loving father rejoicing in his creation. I'm gonna say it one more time. The divine is the mind face of a loving father rejoicing in his creation. And this is characterized by the number 12, or Yod Bet, right? So I want you guys to pragmatize and think about the 12 process and things. And also, thank you so much, Guadalupe. Have a nice day. Have a nice stream. Have a nice life. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. We're gonna end off the stream by chanting some mantras, by the way. We're gonna chant some mantras at the end of the stream. So if you guys want to stay for like chanting the mantras and stuff like that, we're gonna chant some mantras at the end of the stream. But But divine mind, the divine is the mind face of a loving Father rejoicing in His creation. So, I want you guys to ruminate on that, think about that line, and we'll get into it next stream. But without further ado, guys, I am Ken from the Ikwan Stahab, or the Brethren of Gold, and I have been given the opportunity to give you guys a stream today. Show you guys a show, show you guys a production, show you guys things, you know? So we're now gonna end the stream off by meditating and doing some mantra yoga. So the mantra we're gonna be reciting this stream is Shreem, and we're gonna be reciting it 108 times to secrete the abundance of the stream. This is a very abundant stream we had, and we're gonna recite Shreem 108 times on this my mala beads to end the stream off. So I'm gonna start the stream with some tantric pranayama breathing, and then I'm going to start. Let us start the end of the stream. Alright, goodbye guys. I'm not gonna respond to anything too much when I do this, so goodbye guys. Let's start the reciting Shreem 108 times. Shreem, 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 Shreem. We completed the whole mala beads, guys. All right. I hereby call the temple open for all walks of life to learn and witness and receive what I have given. I call upon the forces of all the Merkabic energies and all the energies that surround me to bless and give whoever is watching this abundance, growth, and prosperity. Thank you everyone for watching. I am Ken from the Ikwanas Tahab, and today we had a wonderful night. Bye-bye! You came at the end of the stream? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There'll be another stream this Tuesday or this Wednesday. Either this Tuesday or this Thursday. Either Tuesday to Thursday of this upcoming week there will be another stream. So it's okay. You can show up to that. We read the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak up to page 45, and we're gonna read up to page 90 next stream. So, yeah. See you there, hopefully. But, yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye. 30 seconds. Oh, I like ending my streams at a specific duration. I like ending my videos at a specific duration. 20 seconds. Stay in contact for 20 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Ah, I lost. Damn. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.